Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go, let's go. Ow, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Let's go, let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News, King Roman News.
Let's go, let's go. Hey. Let's go, let's go. Hey, let's start this show. Let's start this show. Hey, let's start this show. Woo! Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day to you all. Shout out to the moderators, the members, the subscribers, everybody, all of you all. Shout out to you all. I have been, what is it? Roman gets his groove back. I have been chilling and enjoying my summer. I think I'm having a hot boy summer, a city boy summer. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for coming back to the show. You know, today is Wednesday. We're doing local news. I want to start this show by saying I appreciate y'all for being down with me through the thick and thin, through it all. A lot of you all sent me messages over the weekend after Friday's show, and I heard you. And some of the comments took me back. I didn't realize that I do have a mature audience watching me. I have a lot of older, mature adults who watch me, and a lot of them sent me messages and felt like the way I carried myself on Friday was definitely disheartening, and it was in poor taste. I got all of that, and I received your messages. And like I shared with some of you all, I apologize, but I am human, and there will be moments. That wasn't my first or my last, but there will be moments where I may respond in a way that you're not used to. Now, I received also some messages. Shout out to, you know who you are when I say it. I received a message from a couple of people, one person in particular, who was like, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. So that was also something like I had to realize, like, whoa. So I heard you all. I get it. I got it. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all for the love, the attention, the taking the time out to just even say, hey, Roman, you veering. I get it. I get it. So thank you for that. I want to genuinely say thank you for that. As you can see, my eye is getting a lot better. It's still there, the little gash, but it's still there. I'm still going through the putting on, like, I got this ointment. My friend, he works he works in shock trauma, and so he told me about this cream. It's called triomycin, but it has to be prescribed by a doctor, and that's what they give wound and surgery victims over their wounds to help it heal, speed up the process. They normally don't give it to small burns and stuff because it's a powerful stimulant to the skin. So I got me a whole tube of it, right? So I've been putting it on every morning. I've been just putting it on my face and a little Band-Aid. I've been trying to get myself back together. But other than that, I've been chilling. This weekend I had a great weekend until Sunday. My friend invited some folks over, and I don't eat wild game meat. I eat chicken, fish, and sometimes beef. That's it. Well, he had an array of wild meat like duck, like eel, like lamb chops. And so the only safe thing for me to eat was lamb chops. Now, I don't really eat lamb chops, but I said I'm gonna fuck with these lamb chops because I'm hungry and I thought we was gonna be hitting on something. I said the same shit to him. The lamb chops were so fucking good. They were so good, but he had heavily marinated them overnight in like this garlic and spices thing or whatever. Baby, I woke up Sunday with indigestion. I thought I was gonna die. I was like, I had called my friends. Like, I think I'm about to go to the hospital. I don't know if it was food poisoning or nothing. All I had to do was burp. All I had to do was burp. So I stayed looking deadly, feeling like death all Sunday. I'm sitting around like, is it the heat? I couldn't breathe. I couldn't swallow. I'm just like, I just feel like, and I just had a whole burp sitting right here on my chest, just sitting. And so finally I went and got my dog, and I took my dog to the park. And after a few laps with his ass, it was like, merp, merp. And so I felt much better. That was my Sunday. I was just out of it. And then, I'm going to be honest with you all, news crew. I am definitely at a point where it's like a part of my routine is, I like to wake up with my boo thing. I like to cook breakfast. I like to do all those things. And so Sunday night leading into Monday, that's exactly what I did. I made some breakfast on Monday morning. I made these pancakes. I made some really good pancakes. I made two different kinds of chocolate chip, cinnamon, and original. And so that's what I did Monday morning. I was making breakfast. We were kicking it. I called it bay time, but I had a great day on Monday. Um, and then I went into the office. So that's why you all missed me on Monday. Monday I had a what do we call it, Ambrosia? A morning date. I had a morning in bed date. And then then we're going the same guy. What do we call him? Church shoes. We're going out tonight on a date, and it's moving very slow, but it's moving. I'm getting to know some things. All of that stuff that I told you all before about me not knowing what I need to know. Well, yeah, I got my answer. So but it's moving very slow, and I guess this is what God has planned for me right now. Just slow your ass down and just chill out. So that's what I've been doing. I've been chilling. I've been watching the beef sector. I've been watching everything that's been going on. It's been interesting. I'm going to save what I have to say until Thursday, till tomorrow. And then, I'm learning now. My show is my show. The morning show is the morning show. Some people really do come to hear about local news or hot topics. They don't really want to hear all that other stuff mixed in between it. And trust me, when I heard it was some of the folks who who are actually a part of the beef sector who sent me messages and was like, that's not you. Don't let nobody take you out of your lane and your zone. So I'm gonna stick to that. If I'm doing my morning show on hot topics and beef sector and local news, that's what we're gonna talk about. That's what we're gonna talk about. That's why you're here. That's what you want to talk about. That's what I want to talk about. So I'm not gonna allow that. And if I need to, I'll go live with a crew time and do what we need to do. But other than that, I think I want to stick to what I said. I hate that I missed the whole show Friday. It has so many topics. So if you look in the description box today, we got about 20. I mean, not 20. It was 20. I had to get it down, but we have about 16 topics we're going to talk about today. So much stuff. I got good news. We're going to end on something you're going to hear in the news in the coming days. This guy named Robert Adams, he's the next black male who's been shot by police. That story is interesting. We got the Sesame Street story coming up. We got the trans story coming up, and we also got this crazy story on Family Dollar. This man and Mel Shivery. So, I want to get into that, but without that, I want to check in with you all. Brick Girl, how you doing? Hey, Brick Girl. Hey, Brick Girl. Good morning to you. Hey, I was coming. I was just doing the. Good morning, Ambrosia. Good morning, Boo. Thank you for being here. Hey, Nate. Nate, what up? What up, Nate? Good morning to you, Nate. Good morning, Kings Mina. How about some? I thought church. I want to. I wish. I already not asked. I'm already like, so because I don't know why I always tell y'all this, and I never tell no one as much as I tell y'all this. Maybe it's a hidden thing I don't want other people to know, but I can tell I feel comfortable. Y'all know I like cabin trips. I like to go spend time outdoors in the nature with a boo. So I already done asked, like, are you into like, either going to get a cabin or do camping and stuff like that? And it's just like, yeah, when I'm comfortable with someone, I'm sitting thinking like, you think I'm a kid? You think I'm trying to kidnap you? I'm sitting here in my brain like, damn. I mean, I get slow, but baby, I don't want to hurt you. I just want to get out into this element and see how you really are. I want to see the real you. That's when you get to really see, and I did it before twice, and it was just a beautiful experience because you bond in ways that are irreplaceable after you leave there or after the relationship over. You'll always have that. Remember when you did that, and so I wanted to do that, but we'll see. Maybe I'm taking this pace just as slow as I can. There you go. Good morning, Naries. What up? What's up, Naries? Okay. You had me sitting somewhere looking like, no, what is this? You know what I'm talking about. Yes, I did. I had a great time. Came over while I had indigestion and shit and was like, are you okay? I'm like, I don't think you should be around me like this because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what might happen. But it was great. It was really, really cool. I for me, it's a big move, but I'm not a parent, so I don't know what other moves look big. But for the first time ever, I let him just go walk my dog while I sat in the crib, and then Eli let anybody walk him. Let's go. So I let him walk my dog and shit. And I looked out the window just to see like, is this something I could like? Is that you gave that is that potential? I left it at that, but we'll see. We're moving very, 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 very slow. I mean, it's only been I know him for a long ass time, but it's only been officially like maybe a month or so of us just like chit chatting and shit and like meeting and going to have dinner and shit and stuff. So we'll see. Hey, Kimberly Black. Good morning, boo. Hey, Cash Apps and bullshit. Good morning to you, boo. Hot Spicy Tea. Good morning, and everyone in the chat. Hey, V. Hey, good morning, V. Babies burp mid belch. Good morning. Yes, I had to belch, V. And when I tell you I belched, and this is gonna really make you all feel disgusting, but the aroma of the lamb chops that I ate was so. I was like, damn, that was just sitting there. It's so important not to. I think what I did was after I ate, I sat my ass down. Like I laid down. So it was just sitting here, wasn't moving like it should have been. Lesson learned, not on no garlic. But it was good. I give him credit. It got me eating some lamb chops. I would have never done it. I would never eat no lamb chops. I just be afraid of eating game meat and shit. They are popping. I enjoyed it. I'm telling you, I went in that kitchen, I whipped something up, and here's another thing. If y'all know I love bacon. I will do bacon in the middle of the night with some waffles. I'm like, so you want some bacon? You got turkey bacon? Here we fucking go with this shit. Who does turkey bacon? Why are y'all gonna get enough of doing this turkey bacon? I said, you know what? I got pork bacon. I love some. Nah, I'm good. I said, well, what else? What other meats do you want? Now, so I showed him the other meats I got, and he's like, I'll take the sausage. I'm like, I know he's gonna take the fucking sausage. It's the only beef sausage I had left. I only had one link left. You go get them from the meat market. I'm like, dog, this is the only one until I go back to the meat market. But I did it. I whipped it up some. You know how you boil it to get the juices in, and you cut it down the middle and fry it so it's nice and yeah. Yes, thank Lord you got your answer. You know what I'm talking about. Human hysteria. Hey, boom. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you just being just genuinely you. I really do. When my kids call and be like, "Mama, my belly hurt," my first thing I ask is, "You need to." There go my auntie. Did you drink enough water? See, that's what happened when you don't drink enough water. I'm like, why is everything water with her? Everything. I got a headache. You need to sit down and drink you some water. Does the water go up to my brain, to my head? Does it go to the ache, or does it go down to my stomach? Like, I'm not understanding. Girl. Yes. Yes. And very much so a big ass tease. Like, put it out there, but I'm not. I'm gonna see what you want to do. Well, you gonna be waiting because I'm gonna be waiting for my good. I'm gonna be chilling. So we just been over here chilling. You should have saw Sunday night, Monday morning. It was like, so who's making a move? I'm like, damn, I'm trying to be like this mature, but I share that with y'all. Just know a move was made. Okay, I won't be egging on the rah rah. Kingsman, we gonna switch it up because I know it's gonna be sometimes where rah rah gonna have to come into play. You know what I'm saying? I'm not naive. I know it's gonna happen, but I feel like I owe it to people who tune in early in the morning. Nobody want to hear you jumping down somebody's throat or in that way or that light. You all want some light-hearted topics, and if you want to divvy to something else, I think like, oh, let me watch that. But I think I owe that to you all to just speak be exactly what I say I want to be. Like I want to do this as a news reporter. So even I'm gonna share this with y'all. Even she don't work with us anymore, but even my ex coworker who I told you I'll be watching it. She don't watch them as they're live, but she'll go catch a replay and she tells me she'll go through it. She watched it and she was like, I never saw you like that. What happened? And it's like, even that's what it was me this weekend having to explain to people what that was in itself crazy. Literally having to say that you dropped down in the chat and what? I'm like, oh my God, this just sounds so. I'm like, listen, you got to be there to know and be in it, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to ever do that. It just means that I have to put shit in perspective. Like, you don't do that on your morning show. You don't piss on your front yard. You don't break your own doors. You don't do that shit. You do it in a different way. So that's why I'm saying, like, I owe you all that. Are you stalking me this morning? Duchess, DKL, Duchess, good morning, boo, good morning. Another amazing individual. Running naked in the woods. See, why you on that lane? Good morning, Queen Diva. Good morning. You love y'all. So y'all really do like lamb chops? I just could never get into it. For my fraternity, it's a part of our official menu, broiled lamb chops, and that was the only time I ever did it, twice. And my pledge pops, he made them, and if you watching or catching a replay, you made them really, really good. I remember the moment when we made them in the dorms. He was like, I don't know how this shit gonna turn out, but it was so good. It was so good. But other than that, I stay away from it. I think my mother eats alligator meat and tried to get me to eat it one time, and I just had to look at her like, you crazy. You crazy as hell. Crazy. Good Joe. What up, Joe? Good morning, Joe. What up, Joe? Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. I eat lamb, eel, and duck and love them all. Oh, I could not get into that duck. Even though it looked like chicken, it looked like another bird meat. It was the idea of knowing it was duck. Like if he wouldn't have told me it was duck, I'm sure I would have tried it. But here I go saying all kind of shit. Like I'm like, how do we know we don't get rabies or how vaccinations? Like, did you catch this? Has this been clean? Like I had all those questions. Did you devein the blood? Did you put chemicals in it? Has this been salted down like preservatives? I don't know. That's when I knew I couldn't. It wasn't for me. Yeah, I make my own marinade and grill. That's exactly what he did. That shit was delicious. It was delicious. It was hidden. It makes me want to get a grill. Speaking of, my lease is up within the next month and a couple of weeks, so I'm looking for a new place, and I think I want to rent definitely, but I think I want to rent an entire place. I don't want no one above me. I don't want no one next to me. I don't want no one building beneath me. So I've been out looking and doing that too. We went we went yesterday, Monday. Well, Monday. We went Monday. Because I just wanted to get an idea of like where your head at. What do you consider nice and not nice, or finished and not finished? And I'll just say it's a lot of shit he can live without that I just don't understand. We walk into a place, the first thing I go to the kitchen to see if there's a dishwasher. And when I don't see a dishwasher, I'm like, he's like, what's wrong? well, you can wash your own dishes. I'm like, yeah. We'll talk about that. Yeah, yeah, okay. I felt you were just getting it off your chest. If not, to your morning. Okay, Britt, that's what it was. I really, and it was just a snowball effect. Like I was telling the story, and it just was like, and and I went back and watched it. I ain't gonna lie, I laughed my ass off. Me and my friend laughed our asses off. My friend, of course, he drugged the fuck out of me. He's like, "Look at you up there, looking like a fucking fiend. Like you about to just go off." I'm like, "Listen, it was a moment. I never, I don't go on a public broadcast stream and just get gutter. That's not what I do. But when it happens, it happens. So, and I don't, at this point today, I don't take anything back that I said or did. It happened. I just take back the fact that I didn't wait to another show. Like I literally had something prepared for you all, and I kicked that to the side for some other shit. That is pure contradictory to what I was saying. If I don't care about this or I'm not paying attention to this, why miss your whole show and focus on that? And that's what, when my friend said that, I said, oh, that blew my mind. I said, what I need to do is just do it separated. So I get it. I got it. I'm not naive, hot, spicy tea. I'm not naive, Joe. Like, why you say my name now? Because Joe is like the slang in the Midwest. What up, Joe? Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. In Florida, it used to be cuh, hey, cuh, hey, yo, cuh, cuh, like cuz, cuh. Up north in New York, it's son. And I used to go down to Florida and say son. And they'd be like, why are you saying son? I'm like, y'all would never get it. I did share Fridays Live with my daughter. I did tell her this is not what you do. It was all good. Baby, when I tell you, I had some friends watch it, and it was like, who is this guy you're talking? I gotta see his face. I want to see who he looks like. I'm like, and then here go one of my friends. Well, he's not that ugly. I mean, you made him sound like he was just like, Pierre, he's not that ugly. I'm like, here you go, being a hating ass bitch. You can never go to a shootout with me, bitch. You gonna look at a nice shiny gun on the other side and say, I want what they got. No, honey, you supposed to be on my team. He was like, he's not that bad looking. Like, oh my god. I'm like, okay, okay. We know what ops look like. You saw if you need a dishwasher. I need a dishwasher. Absolutely. I need a garbage disposal. Absolutely. I need all of that. I need a separate hot water heater. I need it all. I need all of that because I done been through situations where I don't want to be connected to nobody else's shit, nothing else. I don't want nobody above me. My neighbor and his dog, we have sporadic moments. It was just last week, me and him was going off on each other, and we're still having this shit. I thought it was over with, but he has these moments where he goes in and out, and I fucked around and in an email replied to him, said, well, that's why your ass that's why your ass getting put out. Well, now I wasn't supposed to know that. Baby, do you know he replied to the owner a whole mean message? I don't even know my business. Fuck you. And so the owner replied to me. I didn't look at it. I didn't even open the email. I just left it there like, that's between y'all two. You shouldn't have told me he was putting his ass out. Because there's other people complaining. Every time the dog walks upstairs, every time somebody beeps a horn or anything. Like right now, if he wasn't here, the dog be barking, but he's here because he knows. This time it takes the time it takes to load the dishwasher, you could have washed. You're not gonna give me that because the same thing I was telling him. No, the time it takes to load the dishwasher, that's 5, 6, 7 cycles of cooking. In and out of the kitchen. That's over 7 days worth. So I can load it and go. Versus let me stop and wash all these dishes and get through the day. Like that to me seems to be a little bit more effortless. I don't know. I got used to it and I just been like, God damn. Even wanted to like, I'm sitting here looking like, well, you can put a dishwasher in here. I'm like, a portable one? A portable dishwasher. How does that work? How does a portable dishwasher work? You got to roll it out and push it all the way to the sink every time you want it. At that point, I'll wash dishes. That is the only thing that'll get me wash dishes. I ain't doing all of that. Anyway, I'm with you. I have a dishwasher in there. My TT does too. My TT has a whole dishwasher and never use it. She stores dishes in there. I'm like, she go and pull a plate out. I'm like, this is like, I wish I had this. Still calling her refrigerator an ice box. Go in the ice box. She got like 3 of them. She don't never let refrigerators go. I'm like, is this because when you were growing up, you either had a lack of refrigerators, 1 in the basement, 2 in the garage, 1 in the kitchen, It's like I almost ask them like, can I get a, can I get one? And they're all the nice ones. Every time she get a new one, she don't throw it away. Deep freezer. I'm just like, TT, I need your amenities. I really do. I use mine to rinse my okay. How convenient and cute. That's a great hosting. Go put it in the dishwasher. I think people put their shit in your sink, and you just like, now I gotta decontaminate all these dishes. It's just me. And I like to. I have bleach box all over my house, front door. Cause I had a dog, so I bleach everything down. So I'm spraying bleach all over the sink. I just want to make sure everything's all good. I got so used to washing dishes, I forget I even got a dishwasher. Growing up, my mama had 5 dishes. Okay, I know I was one. I was a dishwasher, but I hand dishwash. I was growing up. I was a dishwasher. My TT made sure, and if she heard a plate go in the sink, I know you ain't put that plate in the sink and wash it out. So I used to try to lightly drop it in there, like, and then run my ass away so I could blame it on my uncle. That ain't mine. That was not mine. That was his. You always blaming it for me. If you want me to wash the dishes, just say you want me to wash the dishes. I don't understand why I get the blame. Badass little kid. Yes. Yes. And then so here's the thing with him. Every time our dogs walks past, my dog is so civil. He's so manner. He just sit there and look at the other dog while the other dog just barks and go crazy. Now his asshole thinks that it's because he thinks his dog intimidates my dog or my dog is scared of him. So he'll laugh with it like and look at my dog. So one day Eli was sitting down and he was walking by and I just stood up. That dog jumped so back so fast. And so then the man goes in the email. His voice scares my dog. Now my dog is anxious because he's always yelling. Okay. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep going back and forth with this bullshit. Get your ass up out of here. You get gone now. All right, y'all. Let's get into some things. We 30 minutes in. I just wanted to spend a little time with y'all, let y'all know that we are all good in the hoods. Behavioral changes check. I'll move that shit to another live. Anytime I do a morning live, we're gonna stick to our show. Now, if we have to derail, I'll let you know in a respectable manner, but I'll never do no shit like that to y'all again. I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting there just dying. I'm just laughing. All right, so let's get into some things. We're gonna get into the local news. Now, there's so much shit going on in the world, and there's so much shit that done happened that I can't even fit in here and cover. We just gotta move on. But before I begin, I want to highlight this young 13-year-old girl. So shout out to Alina Anna Lee Wicker. She becomes the youngest Black person to ever be accepted into medical school. Now, she was 12 years old when she completed her undergraduate studies. She completed her undergraduate studies at a combination of 2 different schools. One being Oakwood. She finished her final year at Oak. I think the school is called Oakwood, and she completed the majority of her undergraduate at the University of Alabama. And then the University of Alabama informed her that they'll officially accept her into their early assurance program. Now, the biggest thing about this story that I wanted to share to you all, especially the parents, was this. This is what really inspired this girl to really be forward in her academics and really, really want to pursue a career in biology. And I think I shared with you all my whole reality and coming to realization when I was younger was when my aunt started sending me away to trips. She sent me to Quebec. She sent me to my first New York City trip away from her to DC, to California. Then she sent me to across the country to Europe at a young age. And as I was doing those things, I was learning so much and it made me just want to do other shit. So listen to what she said. So she said, I really want to leave my mark on the world and lead a group of girls that know what they can do. She said initially she wanted to pursue a career in engineering, but she fell in love with a biology after a trip to Jordan with, guess what, you all, the Brown STEM Girl Foundation. Now, if you don't remember, during February, the Brown STEM Girl Foundation was one of the organizations we gifted, I think it was $50. So shout out to the Brown STEM organization. So the Brown STEM organization, on their trip to Jordan, it inspired her. And what she said was, it actually took one class in engineering for me to say, this is kind of not where I wanted to go. I think viral immunology really came from my passion for volunteering and going out there engaging with the world. And so she took to Instagram last week after receiving her acceptance letter from the University of Alabama at Birmingham. And I just want to shout out to her. Kudos to her. She inspired me. And, I'm much older than her, but she inspired me. Even in my career now, where I want to make certain changes, you always feel like it's too late, it's too late, it's too late, it's too late. It's never too late. It's never too late. We always can be inspired, re-inspired. So check out this young girl. Share this story with any of your young teenagers at home. And if you have an opportunity to send your child on a trip, even if it's a trip to another city, another town, a small trip, that social gathering of going out and learning how to be responsible on your own provides so much of the critical thinking, of the self-awareness that a child or an adult, or a teen, a preteen, or a teen may need. It certainly helped for me, and it certainly helped for this young girl. So shout out to her for being the youngest ever accepted into medical school. I think that was so dope. Now I saw a lot of news reports. Now I want you all to go look at this girl's name, Alina Anale, and I want you to go look at the types of pictures different media coverage outlets used to portray this girl. That's why I pulled this from Ebony. I pulled this from the Ebony website because it was the only website that I felt like used a really good, accurate picture of her. Other ones was using her in like this, looking like a kid, a low income child. I'll just say it like that. And that's far from what she is. She's a child. They play and wear different things. So, but I thought this was a much better picture. Now let's get into the next thing. So I knew this was going to happen. I said this was going to happen. The House passes a bill protecting marriage equality with 47 GOP members voting yes. Now, the biggest thing about this bill is that they stuck in this bill interracial marriages as well. Now, I don't know if I've heard in the recent years, or let's say 5-10 years, where there was a big uprising because there was denying of interracial marriages. But I got to wondering, if you package interracial marriages with same-sex marriages in a divided Senate and House and send it down, what would you get? And you'll get a bill that's going to pass, because a lot of times those things impact them as well. A lot of the lawmakers who were voting for this, they blatantly said that they feel like this legislation is not called for. It's just another way for them to try to delegitimize the Supreme Court by saying that even though they did the Roe versus Wade, and they're signaling through Justice Clarence Thomas, that we're going to now look at same-sex marriages, contraception, and all of that stuff. We are going to then pass this bill that says that protects the same-sex marriages. Now, the measure is called, and I found the name to be so interesting. So they titled this the Respect for Marriage Act. Now, if you don't remember, back in 1996, Bill Clinton passed the Defense of Marriage Act, which is commonly referred to as DOMA. And, DOMA was the one that declared that marriage is only between a man, the civil union is only between a man and a woman. And so what this bill is aiming to do is to repeal that bill, pull that back, and also afford legal protections to interracial and same-sex marriages. The biggest crux is that they don't want folks who legally get married in one state, and then all of a sudden a Supreme Court or something rolls back and now their marriage is delegitimized. So they also put in this package, which I found to be interesting. If you get married in one state that legitimizes your marriage, and then you go to another state that may say that same-sex marriages is illegal or interracial marriages are illegal, they're saying that state must hold your marriage legal no matter what. It doesn't matter. And so that's another caveat they're adding to this package. And so it of course it passed on the floor. 47 GOP members were voting yes, 267 to 157. Now let's hear what the Republicans some of their pushback was. So some of the Republicans were saying they felt the bill is completely unnecessary and said it was the latest installment of a campaign by Democrats to delegitimize and attempt to intimidate the United States of the Supreme Court. The Ohio Republican also cited the majority opinion released by the Supreme Court last month. We emphasize that our decision concerns the constitutional right to abortion and no other rights. Nothing in this opinion should be understood to cast doubts on precedents that do not concern abortion. And that's basically their way of trying to shore up that we're not going after same-sex marriages, and we're not going after interracial marriages. Well, here's my thing. What y'all are doing now should have been done for abortions. If you knew the uprising was coming, why didn't we put this shit in place? Now all of a sudden we're putting shit in place. I'm all here for it because eventually I want to get married and I want to make sure my marriage is always legitimized. No, now that we have a deeply conservative Supreme Court and they're now rummaging through all of the things that we found to be favorite in America and undoing them, I don't want to come 10 years later from now, your marriage is null and void. No, so I absolutely agree with this bill. I just felt like it should have been the same thing for Roe versus Wade. It should have been more preemptive there too. Like they said, not much may come from this, but it's just another layer of protection should there's any reversal of any Supreme Court action or dissent or degree. Now, in that same light, I wanted to bring up, House, as they're passing this bill protecting marriage equality, we also have Republicans pushing another bill, you all. And I posted on my community wall, and people were like, wow, I really wanted to get you all's reactions because this is a double-edged sword. So now the next bill it proposed is a bill that will make fathers pay child support from conception. Now, I'm going to play a little clip so you'd be well informed about what's going on. But before I do that, let's just talk about this real quick. So this bill is being sponsored by Republicans, specifically from North Dakota and where else, you all? Where else in the world do you think they're sponsoring this? Florida. Two of the major sponsors are coming out of Florida. And so the new bill introduced on July 13th in the Senate and House is called the Unborn Child Support Act and would amend the Social Security Act to give mothers the ability to receive child support payments while they are pregnant. And they're saying that this decision comes from pregnant women and women with newborn children who are lacking in many of states that are restricting abortion. So, one of the caveats that these Republicans are saying is that many times women go to get an abortion because they lack the financial resources and the support of a father to help them. Well, if you curb that by at the point of conception moving forward and make the father pay child support, then that might make more women have babies. I'm sitting here thinking like, so if there's men not paying child support now and the child is alive walking around the world, what makes you think, are you kidding me? So then another caveat of this bill is that part of this is that women must, if they don't want the support, if they want the support, they must then say that the father is not going to be in their life. If the father is in their life, they're not offering the support because their whole crux is a 2-family household. So, for example, if a woman is pregnant and she wants some support, she has to declare that the father does not want to be a part of that child's life for them to then issue child support payments. And I'm sitting thinking like, wow, this sounds like we're going backwards. As much as we say we don't want to be involved in the household, the parent household, raising the household, I feel like this is deeply involved, heavily involved. Mothers should be able to access child support payments as soon as she is supporting a child. Fathers have obligations, financial and otherwise, during pregnancy. Now, it's really unclear if this bill has any chance of moving forward in Congress because of this one thing. There have been massive arguments over the status of a fetus reveal. Many people are saying that a fetus, an unborn baby, should count as a second person, citing the Supreme Court rule Roe versus Wade. So we're going to get into this clip. I want to share this with you all, and I really want your opinion. What do you think about this? Do you think that fathers should, as soon as a woman becomes pregnant, should be held responsible to pay for the child? Let's see, where's this clip at? Where the clip at? Now,
the idea is to make child support available as an award by a court for a mother during pregnancy and even retroactively after the baby is born.
Alexandra McPhee with Concerned Women for America talking about the Unborn Child Support Act. If a mother wishes to receive support and the father does not comply, the legislation requires judges to consult with moms on payment plans and mandates that all paternity tests be done at the discretion of the mother. James Lankford is one of the senators that introduced the bill, saying, quote, dads need to step up and provide for their kids. So if this bill were to become law, how would you as a group measure success for it? How would you say, oh, this bill is doing the job, or this law is doing the job we set out for it to do?
We define success based off of the principles behind the bill, promoting family formation, recognizing that life begins at conception, and including fathers in the conversation in a way that they aren't.
Now, this bill has a long road before it becomes law, and with the current makeup of Congress, it would require support for Democrats, but that would also require Democrats to acknowledge that life begins at conception. Reporting in the newsroom, I'm Andy Weber, KOCO 5 News.
Oh shit. I was like, I just noticed. I said, oh shit, I'm talking on mute. Yes, med school, and I said definitely Black Girl Magic. And okay, Six Girls, and thank you for sending me the Sesame Street story. I appreciate it. Good morning, Jay Parrish. Good morning, good morning. This is where I was at. So her family I said I was very proud of her. You have to think about the things that a young girl at her age, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, what they sacrifice in order to accomplish those things. And then you oftentimes wonder, like, when they get older, these are the people who are wealthy and rich and brilliant and focused and driven. They don't really get involved in all that other stuff. And when they do, it's very low key. You know, it ain't like I'm about to go on a night in town. I'm go out for some wine and dinner, you know. So that's a disciplined life. And her parents did a really good job of honing in on that and just letting her ride that way. We need to get rid of the Supreme Court. Okay, I mean, let me not. The opinions and views expressed on this channel. Okay, and what up, DKL? Is this the real DKL? Hi, Brick Girl. Grand Rising, Zaire. Grand Rising. They are going after gay marriage next. Absolutely, and you see them being now all of a sudden, you know, people want to start proposing bills and being very preemptive. It's a little too late. Definitely get rid of them. If you pay any of these bills close attention, they all have built-in loopholes enabling them to be unraveled. Yep, that's it. Raw Diamond, good morning. Good morning. You get married, King. Read any good books. Whoa. So that's what we doing today? Is that what we doing today? Okay, Joe. Okay, Joe. No, because sometimes of these heifers don't know if that's the real daddy or not. So that was another thing. The bill that they're proposing would then also have to have a budget that sponsors paternity tests and the collection of custody payments, because right now Social Security only deals with the child support payments on that end of it. They don't deal with them during conception, and that will require paternity testing. At that point, you know, the hospital typically deals with that when you're giving birth. You have a birth certificate, all that good stuff. Prior to that, now there's a whole new task enforcement going on. I hope it don't pass either. And for me, it's really targeted. You know, that is really targeted. Like, come on now. You think that, let's just be honest here, the non-minorities in America, you think that the main reason they're getting abortions is because they can't, their family or the man in their lives or whatever is not for paying it? Or is that really what we got going on? We got a story coming up later today where we'll talk about this. Hey, boo, thank you for being here. Thank you. No, because who says the child is even a child? Shay Beezy, what up? Good morning. No, because some ladies are trifling and it may not be his child. And you just coughing over money. I see a lot of anal sex in some people's future now. If there any reimbursement to child is not his. Baby, these are targeted. Yeah, I'm shoot in the head. Hey, Carrie. Hey, good morning, boo. Good morning. Yeah, I was acting a whole fool out here. A whole fool. I hope DNA tests are completed prior to. Yep, that's exactly what they got to do. That's exactly, yeah. Sesame Street tripping. We about to get into that. Good morning. I'm gonna make sure I catch you all. Here they go. They want to vote into law somebody else, but their raggedy selves to take care of the baby, but they want to pay the say or be the boss over people. Exactly. And then you want to take on the care. All right, you can have the baby, and even if your father, even if your man can't take care of it, and even if your situation is dire, we'll help you. We'll throw money your way. We'll get you, but we need you to have this child. Speaking of, just a side note, Nick Cannon just came out and said he's having 3 more kids this year, right? You can expect 3 more pregnancy announcements to occur this year, right? And then Elon Musk is also out here on a have a baby thing. So I'm sure there will be more stories coming up about them having kids and all these kids having out here. They already don't want to take care of the children that are here. I'm sitting here thinking like, so who comes first? The baby mom who just had a baby, who is in conception, who's conceiving, pregnant, or the kids down the street with Bonita in them that you still 3 and 4 that you don't pay child support for? So who gets what happens? How do we juggle that? Because one parent's gonna say, I know her kid don't come before mine, and the other one's gonna be like, well, hold up now, ho. Wait a minute. That was when y'all was together. We knew now. We got new shit going on, new laws in place. Hey, Risa. Hey, boo. Thank you for being here, Risa. I appreciate you too. He is just doing way too much. Nick trying to start a school. At this point, Nick got his own local village. Baby. And I wish them all successful terms in pregnancy. So, all right, let's move on. So now, out of the Uvalde, I always feel like I'm saying it wrong. Uvalde shooting has come all of these new laws and new sanctions and new ways of doing things, right? And so one of the things that they did was they put in place that all of the schools, grades 6 through 12, must have a clear backpack. And so now adopting the communities around it and neighbors around it and states around it have picked up on this too, and they're adopting it as well. And so what they're doing is Texas school districts is requiring clear or mesh backpacks after the Uvalde massacre. Now, I was reading about this and I was watching, trying to pay attention to how successful something like this could be. And it doesn't appear that it can be as successful. Doesn't appear as it can be as clearly as successful as they really intended to be. So what they're saying is that the school will provide students a clear mesh backpack for the upcoming school year 2022 and 2023 when this takes place. Other types of bags will no longer be allowed. They said that they know that this is not the only way to eliminate safety concerns, but they acknowledge that it's a step towards that. So other students from other schools have reached out to say, hold up, Sway. They pull that shit at our school and it don't work. We still get tasers in, we still get blades in, we still get guns in. So much that students have taken to Twitter to prove that they can get stuff in these clear book backpacks through the school. Now I said, ain't this a dumb thing? A clear backpack. Then you have parents saying there's a lot of personal stuff that they don't want shown in their child's backpack, medication. It may be a change of clothes. It may be all kinds of things that may incite someone to be harassed or violated. And I said, this sounds like a lazy ass policy. Clear backpacks. It's one thing to make students wear, same uniforms. I get that whole uniform thing. I had to write a paper about that. But the whole clear backpacks, I think it's a lazy policy. I think it's okay, we're trying to do something. So here's one. The shooter wasn't a student. Remember that in the Uvalde case. This was someone from outside coming into the school. Okay, so that's the first thing. And it shouldn't have taken an outside shooter for you all to then think that this was a good policy. Had this policy came around, when there was a massacre shooting inside the school from another student, maybe you got some justification. But this just comes off as if we're going to blow something together, put on the clear backpacks. And then the other fact that they're saying is that this typically only lasts about 2 years in a school and then they're done with it. They ended up throwing to the side, or it becomes an issue that they don't want to take on. And so I'm not sure if this was going to be, the district has already purchased the clear bags and is set to distribute them before the start of the school next year. Students will be able to carry small, non-transparent pouches in their backpacks to hold personal items like money and hygiene. Some students have to pass through metal detectors when they get to school every morning, and many around the nation undergo active shooter training. The funding will provide money for bullet resistant shields and for Texas school districts to buy silent panic alert technology, among other measures, the governor's office said last month. Now, those things seem to be a little bit more substantive than a clear backpack. Parents are resisting. Unfortunately, it's not an economic stain on their pocket because they're going to be provided to them from their child. Now, it will cost you to replace and replace if should your child lose it, damage it. It will cost you to replace it. But I think that putting this is what they do. They put we're gonna put it on the child. We're gonna put it on the family. You need to do this. No, nigga, y'all need to do this. You do as much as y'all can before it comes to this. I don't think that a sixth grader or a seventh grader or eighth grader need to have that kind of conversation. Hey, you need to have a clear backpack because some people in your school be putting guns in their backpacks. So we need you all to be able to look through and see. That's too much. That's very traumatic, a conversation to have. You know how scared someone would be walking through the school knowing that that's the reason why this is going on. I mean, it almost, you feel like it's a little tense. I just feel like it's the wrong thing to do. Elon Musk's daddy had a baby with his stepdaughter. He raised her since she was 4. Shirley did. Then she moved in with him. And now, mind you, she was having whole sexual. I was going to talk about this Friday. She was having whole sexual relations with this man after the woman, her mother died, and he didn't think nothing of it. And then they welcomed a child. The child was born 2 or 3 months ago, and they're just now talking about it. Baby, I said, and his father, see, the Elon and the siblings, they don't want nothing to do with him. That's why Elon doesn't talk to his father, because they said when they found this out was happening 2 years ago, they wrote him off and called him a sicko, a perv, all of that stuff. So they don't really have too much to do with him. So him coming out talking was like more him trying to be relevant. And it's like, you want to be relevant for that, for getting your stepdaughter pregnant? Y'all niggas is sick. It ain't that much money in the world or attention in the world that make me come out and do some dog shit like that. No, there will be an influx of trade. So no trade, please. No trade. Say what? Nick, sit down. Yeah, I don't want. They did that with us years ago, and they didn't laugh. Shay Beezy, I'm sitting here thinking like, are you kidding me? I could see somebody's child going to school with a different kind of book bag, and them taking that book bag and then damaging the book bag, and then the parents and them getting to a whole lawsuit about, you did. I just see it being a whole mess. All they have to do is cut the inside of a book out and put whatever. That's what they were saying. These students were saying they already knew. It's not really successful because they tried that when I was in elementary school. It didn't last long. And this was, ain't that some shit, y'all? I think a lot of times it's just like, what's the easiest way to get out of this? When my daughter was in middle school, they had to have clear or mesh backpacks. That was around 90. Didn't last long. A metal detector at the door. I'm at a point where, why we ain't got the metal hand-wands that they have at the airport where you just up and down a person? I feel like that should be in the back pocket of all the hall monitors, and they need to have a policy of stop and frisk. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing a stop and frisk policy in a school. I do think it's one wrong on public property when you outside the school. But when you're inside the school and it's for safety reasons, public measures, I have no problem with someone with probable cause saying, hey, I need to stop you. I need to stop you. Come here. Come here. It needs to be trained in a way that is not harmful and it's not hurting. It needs to come off as if, hey, let me clear you so that way we can move forward. One of those things. But I think putting it on people outside of the school, except for law enforcement, makes it seem as if we're done. Okay, we're going to do this. No, bitch, they still going to walk in with, if it's anybody like me, you're going to get something, man. Trust me. I have a taser that looks like a cell phone and a baseball cap that has small weights in it for protection. Yes, they have the bubble gum packs that look like bubble gum packs. You flip that lid off, it's a whole taser. I'm like, people will get got. The automatic assault rifles used don't fit in backpacks. Brisa, how we making this shit make sense? That's the first thing I thought. I said, so okay, but that wasn't what happened at. Oh, maybe I'm not the right one, right, Brick Girl? And that was around the time I was in school, and it didn't work. Period. They've been doing that in the city here, and they think they still get stuff in. Think about it. How many mass shootings have been in city schools with the security protection? A lot of them. I mean, if you can have a heat detector, I know it's costly, but we do it at airports. You see what happened at the airports once we start bombing once the planes start getting bombed out the skies, they went and they shored that shit up. So you mean to tell me we can't shore up our schools? It's all political. It's extremely political. We can shore up our private schools, but our public schools is a whole nother conversation. It's almost like, we're gonna just do this a little bit. And that's why I'm like, okay, this clear backpack shit. They're doing everything to not regulate everything, 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 everything. Yes, absolutely right. What they need to do is adopt what we do in the city. The security is so tight. I'm listen. I'm not. When I read the report about where I'm living at now, and the report came out that it was about X amount of shootings over the weekend, and out of those shootings, it was about 3 or 4 deaths. But the police officers were so close that they were able to apprehend the shooters out of all of those shootings. I said, nah, that don't make me sound good. People feel so comfortable that they'll shoot people around the police, that y'all so close that y'all can apprehend them. That shit don't sound good to me. That don't sound good to me. And let me be honest with you. So they had a burnout in my neighborhood Saturday. Just they stopped the whole traffic. Mind you, I'm literally downtown. You don't stop traffic. It's a four-way. It's the museum, it's the marketplace. It's you don't do that. Latinos, they came and they stopped it. I don't know how they coordinate this, but they came and stopped all the traffic, and they all of the women and people, they got out and blocked all the streets, and these cars just burnt. So me and my neighbors, we looking like, hold the fuck up, homie. All our cars is parked right here, and all we can think about is a car just swinging into our car, right? So then we was like, I'm about to call the fucking. I don't give a fuck about them. You can see me. I don't give a fuck about them. You better get these bitches. So, but before I could, you could see police coming up in their cars, right? What you think the police did? What do y'all think the police did when they pulled up? They got out, enjoyed the motherfucking show, and left their lights on. Mind you, we got cars backed up, people beeping the horn. So it took, you know what it took to get the police to do something? It took the fucking ambulance car coming by with sirens on, needing to get by for them to hop in their cars and quickly disperse. I mean, I never saw them move this fast. They quickly dispersed. I was so heated by that. I called 911. I said, can I get like a supervisor, some shit? And it was like, yeah, the supervisors are not on right now, but we can get you to somebody who's on the desk to take a message. I said, yes. I said, y'all, what the fuck is going on? I said, let me tell you something. Y'all burning out, got these young ass police officers watching a burnout. Then it took all kind of shit could happen. So when you say security needs to be tight, I absolutely agree. Security needs to be tight. And you know, one thing I've learned about police and police agencies, the when the police force, the majority of the police force, and I would say 80% of the police force comes from that community, there's better resolve and better conflict resolution because they get it. They're community folks. When you have police officers coming from counties, city, other jurisdictions outside of this area, they don't give a damn. I don't give a fuck what happens here, bitch. I'm going home and I'm crossing the expressway. And so my aunt told me this a long time ago. They need to start making, like in Rochester, you can be from any other Brighton, all these different surrounding communities, and be a police officer in Rochester, and then go back to your suburban home. No, I think it needs to be some. Now the problem will become spending out the resources, the budget. You know, the biggest crime plight is in the middle where I'm at, of course, but you have all these police officers coming far ways, to come into the city to do this work and then leave. So I see that being an issue as well. I don't blame them. They do have metal detectors and hand wands in the schools. That's why we haven't had any mass shootings. Yeah, I love those hand wands. I would love to have me a hand wand. That might be the next little accessory. People having hand wands on them, making sure a bitch ain't, trying to. These parents and guardians need to monitor their children at home, see what they're doing, and don't let cell phones. Yep, GameStop and TV race them. GameStop, oh, but kids will come to go through the metal detector and go back to the cars later that day because no one will be at the front door. That's right. They will break that day. I remember they will break our whole metal detector down after everybody came in, and that's it. You right about that. I went back to my old high school as it's a voting place. I was shocked to see how they added these security doors to the main entrance at the school. Couldn't move past anywhere without permission. Sorry. I agree. Yes, and if you all have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. You know, we having a little chit chat about local shit. So hit the like button, please. Yes, Shay Beezy, I agree. Monitor the entryways like on Lean on Me, lock down the entryways with no security officer. Okay. Right. Okay. But I didn't see if they added any precautions on other entrances. When I was in school, we would always say it was easy for a mass event due to how it was built. One long hallway with that many kids. Yeah. And you know, the one security measure I just don't like, and I know it's safe. I don't like bars on windows. I just don't like the whole look of bars on. I don't even like apartment complexes or buildings where they have the bars on the windows that you can't move. Like if you want to open your window, you can move it out the way. That's just so jail-like to me. It gives me real prison block. And so when I see schools that have bars on them, I'm like, bitch, why don't you just upgrade the windows, tear them bitches down, bulletproof glass, but them bars on the windows, it's just so like you're preparing me because this the view I'm gonna be getting used to. I don't know. Maybe I'll be always double side eyeing. Like, bitch, is this a message? Are you trying to send me something? Um, nah, that isn't safe due to fire reasons. Exactly, and that's another reason. Are you kidding me? These fucking bars on the windows. That's right, Cameron. We knew our security officers, and they came to our school for programs to connect. Yes, and I agree because when I was in high school, Lil Louisa, she was a little Latin lady. She came from the neighborhood. She was the century. She knew everything. She's like, "You about to go to the corner store? Here, take this 25 cent and grab me some chips." And it was just a relationship, and you felt comfortable. You know, if you needed something, you could talk to her, and you knew if she knocked on your door and she said, "Come here." They need to see you downstairs in the office. Come here. Don't you run. Come here. You knew it was like, okay, she ain't gonna harm me. She gonna walk with me. And when she walks with you in the hall, she's talking to you. Know what you did, Poppy? You cannot be doing that. I told her I would go get you. No fight. No fight. I will go get you. You're not gonna fight. I used to love her. Loved her to pieces. I loved her. Down. I can't stand bars on windows either. It makes me feel like if something happened, you can't get. That's where I be looking. I be looking for emergency exits and shit. I go in the buildings like, where the cameras at? I get on elevators looking for the cameras. Like, where's the camera? I don't. I just I would never go anywhere with bars on windows. It's a school me with no windows. Hold up now. Hey, Miss Margot. Hey, Miss Margot. It's good to see you, boo. Can't stand bars either. Such a fire hazard. I don't hear them. That's right. I was in a house fire before and we didn't have bars. Woo! Thank God. No windows. No, that's no. What we doing there? No windows. That just gives me a whole planetarium. Like, are we on display? All right, you all. So then the last political topic I wanted to talk about, it's been a topic that's been carrying some weight down in the infamous beef sector, but I wanted to wrap this up because the latest news on this coming out of the Emmett Till story. So now the Mississippi Attorney General says there are no plans to prosecute women in Emmett Till's lynching. And this all truly came about, you all, because the Emmett Till, she is getting ready to release a memoir. Now, currently, the deal with the memoir that she's releasing cannot be released until 2036. And in my mind, it's when she passes away that they'll then release this memoir, because what they've done is in 2017, they gave the FBI, who was about to reopen the case, they gave them a copy of the memoir. And in this memoir, which I'll play a clip for you all so you can hear some details about why she should be held accountable for some form of negligence in this case. That's all in this memoir. So in recent days, because folks have now reenacted that she was never served a warrant, they never could find the warrant during her case. Like, what the fuck you mean you couldn't find the warrant? The owner, Tyson, he decided to release snippets of the memoir to some media outlets, and now we're here. And so the Attorney General from Mississippi said there are no plans to prosecute her in this Emmett Till's lynching. There's no new saying that there's no new evidence or there's no new testimony that will warrant a new trial. And so, of course, the family feels like there should be enough probable cause, because there were, in 1955 there was an issue for a warrant. They didn't even know it occurred. They also stated that the retired FBI agent who investigated the murder in 2004 and in 2005 contradicted what she told him during an interview. And that's also what's in this memoir that she's going to release. And so all of this stuff has now brought some attention to this case all over again. And so I wanted to play this clip so you all can hear some of what was said. So the request of the Till family submitted a letter to Mississippi 4th Circuit Court District Attorney urging him to execute the warrant from 1955 because it has not expired since there's no last statute of limitations on kidnapping, renewing calls for activists, and Till's family for law enforcement officials to arrest, charge, and prosecute Donham. And so they sent this letter also with a copy of the warrant against Donham. And the family was hoping to get a response within 3 days, but they told them that at this point, they're not charging, they won't be moving forward with any charges. And so check out this clip. Oh, I hate when I burp like this. This is make no sense. Emmett Till video.
We're getting our first glimpse at a copy of an unreleased memoir from the woman at the center of Emmett Till's murder. Carolyn Bryant Donham is the woman who accused the 14-year-old of whistling at her before her husband and a group of men brutally killed him. Marion Brooks tonight shares the contents of this memoir and why they've now led to a new controversy in this case.
The manuscript entitled "I Am More Than a Wolf Whistle" was to be kept in a university archive until the 2030s, but it began to surface in the last few days, and we obtained a copy today. In it, Carolyn Bryant Donham basically sticks to her story. In August of 1955, Carolyn Bryant was 21 years old. In her telling in the unreleased manuscript of her memoir, Emmett Till did whistle at her, but only after grabbing her hand and waist and propositioning her in the store in Money, Mississippi, much like she testified in court in September 1955, shown here in a reenactment of the trial transcript produced by NBC Chicago and Collaboration Theater.
What did he do?
He caught my hand.
Will you show the court just how he grasps your hand?
It was like this.
Was that a strong grip or a loose grip?
Strong grip.
What did he say when he grabbed your hand?
He said, "How about a date, baby?"
To the surviving witness, Emmett Till's cousin and best friend Wheeler Parker, the account in the leaked manuscript hurts.
It's just sad. It's really sad to see things that are happening. It's kind of sickening, you know.
In the NBC Chicago documentary, The Lost Story of Emmett Till, Wheeler Parker and fellow witness and cousin Simeon Wright both say nothing happened in the store. They admit Emmett whistled, but nothing more. Chris Benson, co-author of Wheeler Parker's upcoming book, A Few Days Full of Trouble, flat out calls Carolyn Bryant's version of events in the manuscript lies.
We believe she's continuing to tell lies. This is a person who we strongly believe had something to do with the abduction, but there's no way to establish that as a legal matter at this point.
Carolyn Bryant Donham's husband, Roy Bryant, and his half-brother, J.W. Milam, were tried and acquitted for Emmett Till's murder back in 1955. 4 months later, Bryant and Milam admitted to killing Emmett Till in an article in Look magazine. We made attempts to reach Carolyn Bryant Donham today by email and phone, but were not successful. So will this manuscript impact the legacy of Emmett Till?
For some people will buy into what she's saying, and some people won't. And when you read and go over everything, you see a lot of contradiction, a lot of fabrication, a lot of lies, and it's just incredible, mind-boggling.
I think people are going to be outraged. It really disturbs us that there can never be justice in this case. And it's offensive to us to read what this woman has to say now at the end of her life when she could have come clean.
Carolyn Bryant Dunham is 88 years old and living in North Carolina. The release of this manuscript comes just days after the discovery of an arrest warrant from 1955 that included Bryant Dunham's name, a fact that she acknowledges in the manuscript. She wasn't arrested then and has not since been charged, despite 2 FBI investigations of the Emmett Till case.
Now, just a couple of weeks ago, we reached out to Indianapolis native Dan Wakefield, who covered the Emmett Till murder trial 67 years ago. You can hear his comments on Bryant Dunham's testimony and his perspective on the unserved warrant for her that was recently discovered. You can find it by just going over to WTHR.com.
What a shame. And a lot of what people are saying that this manuscript will, what this memoir does is it makes her a victim. It puts her in the light of she was taken advantage of by those 2 white men. And throughout the entire case, it made her feel like she had no choice, she had no options. So releasing this memoir will definitely incite some people, and definitely provoke some folks. So that's why I said them releasing this in 2036 is definitely strategic. I feel like it's after her, her death. And I certainly feel like there's no justice ever going to be served in this case, and it's so unfortunate. It's I even myself, I'm thinking like, you can't even take this to another state and try. You can't do nothing, at this point, except for just raise awareness and keep bringing this shit up and putting it in her face. So that was my biggest point for wanting to really bring this back up or put this to the light, was that you can release a memoir, you can have all these snippets of how you felt and what you did, but the magnitude and the role that you played in what happened to Emmett Till will forever be here. It will forever be a part of legacy. And don't ever think you are a good person. I don't care if they manipulated you and told you, girl, you got to go in there and turn on him. It shouldn't have taken this long for that to come out. It shouldn't have taken this long. And how you don't get served a warrant from 1955? I mean, let that happen to a black person not getting served a warrant. I'm sure today y'all be trying to serve that nigga a warrant in his damn deathbed. So this whole thing is ripe with corruption. Rest in peace to Emmett Till and to his family, who's continuing this fight. And I'll continue talking about this story if there's any new developments, should they decide to try to move forward. When I can't even sit in the backseat of a car that windows don't come down. Okay, like what you trying to? I'm not trying to be entrapped. Not a memoir, a whole memoir, girl. At this point, you can put that shit in 2 sentences and release it. You're doing too much now. I have a severe dislike for that woman. I want her to be held accountable. Period. I don't give a damn if it's the last 2 years in jail. I don't give a damn. I don't, at this point, home confinement with an ankle monitor and bracelet, and I want pictures of that to be leaked all over the media. Shit, at this point, it's just about having some level of justice served for what happened. That's really what it's about. I mean, we love the name of the streets and the naming of all the monuments and all that kind of shit. That's great. But what will really be important for history books and to go down as what is the final resolve of this story is for justice to be served. They could find the warrant. They didn't want to serve it. Period. When you birth, that means you're grown. Is that what it means? Is that what it means? Did he deserve to die? Is the question. That bitch is lying. One black teenager in that era going to proposition a white woman and grab her like that in the South. White woman's tears. I'm not here for it. Period. I'm not even getting you no Kleenex. I'm just gonna lead you to the sink. Make sure you do that shit over there. The audacity. I guess we always had Karens. Hey, Perplexed. Good morning. And reenactment, really? YouTube people will never, ever stop with the bullshit. A whole reenact. Did you see it in her hand? And he put his hand on me and, girl, bye. I would like to go to her funeral just to flip her casket. Nate, it sounds like we have a whole trip planned. You let me know. Because I will have a hoodie on. I don't mind. Now, I don't mind a little shit like that. That in my history of my life. Were you the dude that flipped that Don Ham's casket over? I'm not going to confirm or deny that. I just know that it happened. She deserves to be tried, just like they did Bill. Absolutely. God damn it, Carrie. Carrie, she isn't too old. Let me stop getting here. I'm driving, going back to the clouds. Carrie, you crazy. Very yes. Hey, 3 heartbeats. Good morning. Good morning. I want her in the ground and not by natural causes. Okay. Oh, you sound like you want some poison. You don't want a firing squad, or you want like a poisonous gas immediate, or you want that shit never too old. Hell, lock up her kids just in case somebody needs to pay. I'm sure her kids have changed their surnames. The YouTube bot tripping, blocking my Emmett Till post. I don't even see him. So we rage. Oh, you mean on your community wall? So we raging out at her funeral. I'm down. I'll play Beyonce, break my soul. You go crazy. Yes. Okay. I say we bust right in all at the same time. Windows, doors. If anybody can come through a floor and a ceiling, I'm with it. Let's just drop on that bitch. Let's just drop. I'm down. Okay. You go fall out the back of the hearse. Now you know that funeral is going to be heavily secured. Can I drive the hearse right into the ditch? You surely can. I'll be right over there. Clearing a path for you this way. Okay. Let me know. I will pull the fuck. Okay, listen. You know they'll have. You know, if we feel like this, you know, if she has a funeral, can you only imagine what our Black Americans, brothers and sisters, are going to do? They're definitely going to show up and show out. Now, I think I would show up and show out for something like this. I definitely think I would. I could see me going down there. Should get, first of all, a nice hotel in a neighboring city. You don't do your dirt in the same city when you go to these southern states. You got to be able to drive to the next place, go to sleep. Somebody's stake your ass. And I can see me riding down, me and Eli with our shirts on. No, we won't go. Baby, I'm ready. I hope they show up and cause pure chaos in that whole funeral. Weird. You know, God, we love the dead, some of the dead. Please don't hold it to our hearts. Just hold it to the cause. Hold it because of the cause. All right. So let's move on. Now, this story has been, you know, this is one of those stories where it's been going viral because of the video clip we saw. And so I'm talking about the Sesame Street story. So Sesame Place addresses video of characters widely criticized interaction with young Black girls. And shout out to 6 girls for sending me this video clip, because I saw it and I said, you got to be kidding me. So this story, this is a pure example of what I say when PR goes fucking wrong, goes completely off the wire. So we had this mother and her family at Disney World, and there's this small clip of her 2 daughters standing out on the pavement of the parade as the characters would come by and sort of, give them claps and stuff like that. Well, this is what happens to these 2 young girls as the characters walking past them. Now, if that ain't the craziest shit, so this happens, right? So you would expect that, okay, what's going on here? What's going on in this scene? So Sesame Street decides to release a statement. Now, the statement in my mind, now you all, I'm walking through this as I'm seeing things come out. I have a clear objective mind. At first, I'm not seeing racism. I'm not seeing any of that. I'm just seeing, okay, these 2 kids are here and he walked past them. My first instinct was, well, why the fuck you walk past them? You know that's your job. Well, what's going on? So then Sesame Street releases a statement. So here's their statement. And I'm going to read the statement to you because it walks you through how my mind was. I'm like, oh, okay, I still don't see anything, I don't see anything wrong with that. Okay. It's until they released a statement that King Roman said, you know what, you hoes need to go sit down somewhere. So let me read to you the statement. So their statement says, the performer portraying Rosa character has confirmed that the no hand gesture seen several times in the video was not directed to any person or any specific person. Rather, it was a response to multiple requests from someone in the crowd who asked Rosita to hold their child for a photo, which is not permitted. I'm just trying to get the nuts out of this statement, which is not permitted. So when I hear that, I'm like, okay, that sounds plausible. You didn't have to wave away from him like that, but okay. In my mind, I'm still thinking like, there's really nothing wrong here. That's their policy. They're not going to put a baby in their hand. And so the Rosita performer did not intentionally ignore the girls and is devastated about the misunderstanding. We spoke to the family and extend our apologies and invited them back for a special meet and greet opportunity with our characters. We apologize to these guests for not delivering the experience they expected, and we commit to do our best to earn their and all guests visit and support. So that was their statement, right? So I'm thinking like, okay, it's not a big deal. Okay, so we saw that it's not really a big deal. So then the mom, she comes out and responds, right? She comes out and responds. The mother she's not with this shit at all. So the mom comes out and responds, and her first response says, I really tried to handle this situation calm as possible, but I am hurt. And that response just made it worse. The character could have just waved to everyone or just kept walking, but to blatantly look at my kids and say, no, I'm not expecting that. Don't try to tell me he can't see lower levels. He looked at them and said, no. So embarrassing and hurtful. I will repost this video every day until the situation is handled. Signed, a hurt mom. She continued on and said, I never asked for that character to take a picture. And as I am watching my video, I don't believe that family asked either. I wholeheartedly feel as though that statement was released to save face. Also, a manager reached out to me earlier via phone convo. I responded via DM to confirm. Since the post went viral, no communication was had since then. Sesame Place, instead of trying to save face, you should have gave a public apology to my girls. That statement, disrespectful and distasteful. Talk about adding insult to injury. I will repost this video every day until it is rectified. And so that was her statement. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, now maybe she really felt like it was something going on. It was not until Sesame Street decided to come out and respond to her statement. Then I said, you are just a fucking admitted fucking fault. This is what I don't understand about some of these places. So in their statement, so they recently released a statement, and in their statement, they go on to say, and this was a statement released yesterday at 9:10 a.m. They go on to say, we sincerely apologize to the family for their experience in our park on Saturday. We know that it's not okay. That was the first part. Here's the second part where I said, you all just admitted it. We are taking actions to do better. We are committed to making this right. We will conduct training for our employees so they better understand, recognize, and deliver an inclusive, equitable, and entertaining experience to our guests. For over 40 years, Sesame Place has worked to uphold the values of respect, inclusion, and belonging. We are committed to doing a better job making children and families feel special, seen, and included when they come to our parks. Did y'all just admit that it was a little bit of racism going on? Y'all are going to train your employees on how to be more inclusive. Really? See, at first, I did not think this was racism. I didn't think this was an inclusive situation. I literally thought the man was telling the lady, no, I can't hold your baby. No, I can't. I gotta get moving. I didn't think about it being anything like that until they started releasing these statements. And then their second statement just so happened to be, we're going to train. We are committed to making this right. We will conduct training for our employees so they better understand, recognize, and deliver an inclusive, equitable, and entertaining experience to our guests. For over 40 years, here goes the racist disclaimer. For over 40 years, Sesame Place has worked to uphold the values of respect, inclusion, and belonging. So what about that did you feel wasn't inclusive, wasn't belonging? I'm like, why did they do that? Now, if this lady really felt some emotional distress, loss of time from taking off from work to go down there, and then she spent her money on something she can get a great, she might have a civil case on her hands. So they did extend her coming back to the park, a personal meet and greet with the character and all that stuff. The mom is at a point where she doesn't want any of that. She merely wants an apology. What do you all think about it? All I saw as I scrolled from comments, lies and fairy tales. I'm mad. Back to the cause I go. F that prune face bitch. Ooh, I like that. Prune face bitch. Ooh. Drop it off the side of Grandfather Mountain and boom. So we gonna burn out with her in the casket in the back of the car, just like them folks show out at those military funerals and protests. Folks need to show their ass at hers. I really think that might be a thing. It's some full-fledged coverage. We are outside. We are outside the funeral as we speak. It's going on the inside. We're moments from knocking on the door and walking in. Baby, I can see me doing it. Can you swing by and scoop me up? Period. Okay, meet me down the street. Shake that hearse, tear that grace up. She can't rest in peace. Had a call. Hope it was a good call. There's more videos as well. They getting sued for real. What? I didn't know there was more videos. F Sesame Place. They are clearly prejudiced. Check out Tabitha Speaks video. She has 3 or 4 different families that document their children being overlooked. Wow, during that same period, you know what? Now that's some fucking crazy shit. Wow. That green thing would have been walking around with a broken hand. You gonna knock the hand back. Get your ass over. You see my baby saying hi to you. What the fuck wrong with you, bitch? You know what? I was gonna say that. Sometimes I feel like those characters respond differently when there's a male present. And I'm only saying that from my experience going to a park, but I feel like when it's a male present, they're just a little bit more like, okay, I have to please the family versus I'm not gonna, like more dismissive. I don't know if it's like it's a 2-parent household, you can't get away with that shit or whatever it is, but it's a little different because I didn't experience any of that shit. You ain't walking away. Get your ass back over here. Y'all want a picture? The hell you thought? Aren't you on the clock? Bitch, if you on your break, I shouldn't see you. The fuck? Get your ass back over here. Some folks tried to pay the costumes, make it difficult to see. Child, please. Too many incidents. They famous for trying to tell us we didn't see what we saw. I'm telling you, I was there. I was sitting there too. News Corps, I was literally like, okay. And then I'm reading more and I'm like, hold up now. Let me read this statement one more time. It didn't say nothing about we apologize for the poor performance, lack of judgment and performance. It said nothing about performance because, they're on stage. Anytime they're on costume outside the backstage, they're on stage. So it didn't say anything about their mechanics and that language. I always look for that, performing, we didn't follow proper protocol. Our rules is this, our policy. It literally was, we're trying to foster a better inclusion. So what did you feel about what went on wasn't inclusive enough? But he gave a high five to the white hand right before the little black girls. I thought he was waving. If this incident hadn't happened, we wouldn't have known how widespread it is. This shows how systemic racism seeped into the most innocent of things. Absolutely. Oh, there you go. Lies and fairy tales. Classic case of gaslighting. Okay. Exactly. I saw what I saw. Are you kidding me? For that $100 per person to get in, I have to stop. That's what I was saying. It's $100 per person. Yes, it is, baby. And if you don't do it the same day or within the same week, it can go from anywhere from $120 to $150 a day. Bitch, they be getting you at Disney World. Now, Nate, should have to be taught. Somebody get Kermit on the phone. Jim is probably flipping in his grave. No such thing as a little bit of ism. That's like being a little bit pregnant. Either one is or isn't. I agree. Sue them and get your coin, sis. Absolutely. What's hurtful was the little girls' faces ruined their whole experience, all because of the color of their skin. Freak and apology. Get them where it hurts, their pockets. That's what I was saying. They already admitted it. You got all of this evidence, just said, no excuse. I like that ism. I got to use that and maybe my posting eyes won't get flagged. Okay, that ism. Period. So that was the Sesame Street story, and I thought it was real interesting. And so I'll stay tuned to that. Oh my God. Now let's get into this next story. So, you know how you go into a store when this is for ladies. Shit, some men too. You know how you go into a store and as you're exiting a store, the guy on the outside of the store may open the door for you. And when they're doing it, they're expecting like some change or some shit. And you may be like, no. Or you may be like these women in our next story. You might walk past like, the fuck? If you don't get your ass away from me, baby, get into this. So a man has been arrested after allegedly pointing a gun at two women who didn't thank him for holding the door. Are you kidding me? Is this where we are, America? America. I'm talking to America right now. Is this where we are? Women are getting held at gunpoint because you didn't get a thank you for holding the door. It ain't like it's mandatory. It ain't like you gotta hold the door. And I'm gonna give you the details of the story. This young man changed the course of his life for the rest of his life. He's now being held at, first of all, how I know he was broke. You're held bond 25,000 and you haven't made that. So you're out. You're still being held for this incident that all you were trying to be a nice gentleman, but you had to turn it the other way. So let's get into this story real quick. So a man in Connecticut was arrested over the weekend after he allegedly pulled out a gun and pointed it at two women because he held the door open for them and they never expressed their gratitude for the gesture. Hampton police said officers responded to a call Saturday afternoon following an incident at a Family Dollar where a witness claims Joshua Murray, 25 years old, pointed a gun at two female customers in front of the store because they did not say thank you to him for holding a door open for them. Now, he's being charged with carrying a pistol without a permit, as well as 2 counts of second-degree breach of police. And that comes from him interfering with an officer while he was being taken into custody. He's being held on a $25,000 bond, and he has to appear in court on August 2nd. Now, what a way to change your life, young man. Was it that fucking serious? I know sometimes, and I always say, I know we got to be hard. I know we got to be like, don't disrespect me. I'm that nigga. I know, but we got to pick and choose when that's applicable. This is not that, bro. You extended the olive branch. You the one who opened the door. If you wasn't ready for nobody saying nothing for you open the door, you shouldn't have opened the fucking door. I'd be damned. It could have been me. There's been plenty of times I've had mad shit in my hands, AirPods in my ear, just not paying attention. The door is open. I'm just walking like, and you mean to tell me you pulling a gun on me? Bro, thank you. Are you going in? Do you need me to hold the door for you? What kind of shit is this? I don't feel bad for him. I don't. It's little moments like this where we forget that our overly excessive response to situations can turn fucking dangerous for our lives. The consequences are far greater than what you think that little moment was. Now, that little 10 second, 15 second of you being nice turned into you going to jail. Now you sitting there until August 2nd. It's July 20th. I mean, what in the world? Women, be careful. Be very careful. And men too. I'm being honest with you. All they expect is a thank you. Sometimes literally though, it'd be like some of them will harass you for some change in $1 or something. And their favorite line is, "Can I get $1? I'm trying to get back home." And I always be saying, like, how you get here and where are you going to? How you get this far off that you need $1 to get back home? Where you live, that's $1 away. You can't walk $1. That's why I can't talk to him. Cause see, I know I'll be the next story. Y'all be down there in the chat. Y'all got to talk about myself. Child, I was in the news. Got hit, jumped by the homeless. Okay, so it's crazy. And I bring these up because they could happen to any one of us, just being our genuine selves out in the public. A whole gun. This is why I don't do Family Dollar. Dollar General and Dollar Tree seems to be safer, and Family Dollar has gone to hell. Family Dollar gone to hell because they sell more brand stuff, brand products. Dollar Tree and Dollar General don't sell as much brand name stuff, but Family Dollar does. They get the products that they might have a little damage defect, but not to the food, but the packaging, the boxes might be a little bit damaging. You got to read up on the way the stock and supply goes for like Family Dollar and those bargain stores. Marshall's is a great example. They get the shirts from the bargain designers that might be 3 stitches different than the real because they're defects. So they'll sell them. People will buy them because they don't really know that some of that stuff is defective. But my friend my ex-friend who was in fashion, he explained all that shit to me. But you're right. Family Dollar is definitely something I can't front. I feel away when a person doesn't say thank you, but pointing a gun, nah, bro. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even be looking for a thank you. If I open the door for someone, I just be like, I'm probably trying to get you out my way. Here you go. All right, go on again, go on in. You're welcome. Thank you. No problem. No problem. Go ahead. I just be trying to move, and I don't know. I don't go into it looking for somebody to do something for me. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Always say thank you. I've held the door open for many men and they don't say thank you. I just say you're welcome. Period. And keep it moving. This is America. All because he could not manage his feelings. All they should get is a thank you, not money. But pointing a gun, that's crazy. I say thank you. He out here pointing guns at possibly black women, but won't even yell at a white person for simple disrespect. I can't with these niggas. You and me both. No, it is polite to say thank you when a stranger holds the door. It is. No, it is, but not to the point where somebody pull a gun out on you. Like, bro, okay. Some people are not as nice as you may perceive them to be. I would have just kept it pushing. It all leads me to believe he probably was either A, flirting with them and they weren't giving him no attention, or B, he asked them for some change or something and it turned to, nah, we ain't got it after he held the door open for him. I don't know. I feel like it's the ego. I'm gonna need you to be aware of all your surroundings at all times. There's too much going on here. Take those earpods out and get your face off that phone. I was telling my coworker that the other day. I'm like, yeah, I learned my lesson about walking around with my face in my phone. You ain't got to worry about that. Where are the glasses so I can just be walking and the shit is right here in my vision? Where is that shit at? I bet the next time someone opens the door for those days, you know what, Miss Margot? There is a lesson. Wait, Miss Margot said there is a lesson, and that lesson is, I bet the next time someone opens the door for those ladies, I bet they say thank you the next time or go in the opposite direction. Girl, you go first. Go up. Just throw your hand up if it's okay on the outside. I'll see you through the window. I'll be walking all right. Shit, you gotta have a whole security strategy detail, not jump by the homeless, baby. They may have forgotten some ingredients. You're right. I purchased Tide Pods from Dollar General the other day, and all the pods were stuck together. Yeah, it's the same thing about they sell food that should not be in boxes, but they sell it in the boxes. Like, it's something about it. Like rice in boxes that are like not supposed to be in boxes. They're not approved to be in boxes. So like stuff that can get away approval package wise. But I do go, I'm not even gonna lie, I do go to Family Dollar for like toilet paper, paper towels, mops, brooms. It's just, I don't know, my mind is just a quick, let me just run to Family Dollar, grab that little shit. I don't do no milk. I see they got like real groceries in there, bacon and all. I said, if the groceries is anything like, I don't know, I get like, let me see, I get candy. That's the extent. I may buy a box of cereal, but that's the extent. No, nothing in the cold cooler unless it's pop or something. I don't know. I already got a finicky stomach. My stomach would be like, no ma'am, no sir. I can't even eat Wendy's. I had tried to get some Wendy's the other day, and that shit was like, no sir. But the same people need that same dollar the next week you see them. My friend said, no, I gave you money last week. Then she asked them why you didn't stay home. If you know it's gonna cost you $1 to get your ass back home, you leave out the house with at least $2 or $3. You can go a couple ways, home, back. What the fuck are we doing? But my favorite homeless guy, the one who has been in our area for like years since I've been here, knows my dog since I've had him. I hit him off like once a month with a good amount of money. He always be, every time he see me, I'm like, nah, not today. You already know it's always one time. And it's not like a lot of money, but it's like he gonna go get him a pack of cigarettes. He gonna go get him something to drink, and he gonna be sitting right here on this bench, and he gonna be happy for the week. And I'll be seeing him, hey, like, where my boy at? Where he at? And he go and play with him, and it makes his day. And it makes me happy too, knowing that even though I'm not really doing major shit, it's something, you know. And he's always been nice to me, and every time I need something or, you know, just little shit, he's always available. So I do that. But he knows, don't come up to me, ask me for money. That's the only thing. Just don't ask me. Let me just feel like, oh yeah, today I see you, I got this in my pocket, here you go, here a stain, you know, go. And I was, what you going to get now? Another day he was like, I'm going to get me a box of cigarettes. I'm about to go get me a whole, he was on the ground looking for a cigarette, a roach. I'm like, You really do that? You trust your lips on that shit? All right, you better wrap that shit up in some saran wrap. Can't you wrap the butt of a cigarette up if you get off the ground in saran wrap or something, or raw papers or something? You know, I want to thank you. It's called manners. If they don't say it, I mean, loud and say you welcome, Joe. You just seem like you be on that shit. Why did he just sell his gun and get some money? It's too much like, right? And first of all, who is thugging with a gun sitting outside Family Dollar? I mean, we got to start getting a little bit more umph about ourselves. You gonna be hard outside Family Dollar? All right. I was in the supermarket and witnessed them changing the dates. Let me tell you about this. There's this store called Shoppers in my area. It's the only Shoppers that hot steams crabs. You go get them. You can get a 2-pound crabs. They hot steam them, make them spicy or mild. And my friend was like, "I'm about to go get some crabs." I'm like, "Oh, where you finna go?" I'm thinking a restaurant. He said, "No, I'm gonna go grab them up there. You can get them while you shop, and they'll steam them." So I was like, "Okay, shit, bitch, grab me some." Do you know I damn near died? You know how you can taste a fresh crab? This tastes like eggs. You know how that it's like that egg, that not eggs, but the smell of eggs. I'm cracking this. I'm thinking it's just me. So I'm just eating more and more. I'm like, damn, this shit real oceany. It's real purgent, stringent. This shit real pungent. I'm fuck around had these old ass crabs. I should have known it was better. They were a little darker than the normal red. They were like a lot darker. I'm like, ugh. So you're right. You even the cooked food in the stores, you got to be like, I can't even do that. I have to go to like Wegmans or some shit for cooked food. Shit, I'm going to the Family Dollar after this live. Okay, listen, there's only a few things I can't skip over at Family Dollar now. It's so easy, cheap, and convenient. Rico, good morning, Rico. Good morning, good morning. Shout out to Rico. It's good to see you, bro. It's good to see you. I will only buy candy from the dollar store. I love their candy. And I got a jar of peanut M&Ms sitting on my living room table. Kit Kats and Snickers in the back. I had to stop on that. It's sad to say Family Dollar is the only grocery store in certain neighborhoods. It is. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. No food items. Right, Carrie. Yeah. I'm sorry. And when I see a bunch of Family Dollars plasma centers or dialysis centers, I leave. This is why. What's wrong with the dialysis center being next to family? It's all strategic. They're catering to their audience. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this. I can't bring myself to donate. Perplexed, yep. And don't forget the liquor store. It is. You're right. It's a targeted audience. Not rap on a cigarette. It's the rap on the pee for me. They spray bleach on seafood so you can't smell when it's bad. See, now you finna have me all question the whole. That's why I go to the market. That's one thing about this area. We got markets for days. Big markets, fresh markets, food all in the markets. The only thing is do not go when they're closing. That's when all the fermented rodent bring their ass out, and you can literally see them. And these are the ones here. They will talk to you. Bitch, you waiting next? Cause I'm you. What you getting? They will talk to you. You done? Be the kind. Eli walked up to me like I'll be looking at him like you supposed to be going after him. Why you running back to me? He'd be like, nah, not them big bitches. Hey TC, good morning. Good morning, TC. I don't know why I don't get your notification. I do watch. Thank you, TC. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Shout out, shout out. Don't trust the groceries. We can't do that. Because I know some people who get certain groceries from there. I'm just saying for me, Family Dollar brand paper towels are nice and less expensive than leading brands. Yeah, I like theirs. And Costco. Now, I have never been a big Costco store shopper, but my friend has a membership there, and I went with him one time. I really didn't know it was given what it was given. They got a whole produce section in the back that you literally open up the door, walk in, and it's just, I'm like, this has been where I've been all my life. I enjoy that bulk shopping, but it's me. So I got paper towels for days. I got toilet paper stacked in this closet for days. I mean, but I think it's the best way to go is to just do that bulk shopping, Costco shopping. I just can't talk myself up to getting because I don't have a family. It's just be doing it just for the hype. And where'd you get those shoppers? Shoppers over there on Shoppers in Mondawmin. It was like, I had to ask. I was just like, wow. Fates in Mondawmin. So yeah, that was the Family Dollar arrest. Crazy. Hold yourself together. All right, now this next story, we talked about it before, but new details have emerged, y'all, and we just got to talk about this shit. This shit is getting crazier by the minute. So remember when we talked about the woman who was raped by the man when she was 16 and she had a baby? She had to give the baby up to him and he was raising the child. How about the woman came up with allegations that the man been raping the daughter too? How? We got to get into this shit. So so Louisiana woman in custody battle with alleged rapist accuses same man of also assaulting their daughter. Now she says that on 2 occasions he drugged the daughter and sexually assaulted her, raped her, and the daughter is confirming this with her mother. So I'm thinking about this story. I'm like, God damn, this is a man who already has a history of raping her. But then I had to think about the factors that are at play. She has to have so much evidence on this man who's also working in tangent with the police, because he has a side contract with the police there and the court system there to do digital shit for them, that she's now brought this into the case. Because my thing is, she wrote this in her testimony back in February. It just got leaked out to the media now. My thing is, why wasn't that the first leading reason at your court case? Why now? That was my first thing. Not saying that it's wrong or not the truth. We're going to watch a clip of her, but I'm just saying, like, you can see how all of this evidence is now surmounting to help build one person or the other side of the case. It's crazy to me. First, it was she lost custody of her baby to him. Then it was she had to pay him child support. We covered that story. Then it reversed. She doesn't have to pay him child support. Now they're in court fighting so she can get custody. And this is leaked out that he's been raping a girl too. And child foster services didn't go in, remove the baby, or do anything like that. Don't this sound like a bunch of court play on both sides? I'm being honest with you. I'm only being honest with you. I'm not trying to fluff around. We're gonna check out this clip. I'm like, if that was anybody else, that man would have been thrown in jail. So what are we doing? How does that work? Where is the damn video? Oh, here we go. Sorry, y'all.
Said its completed investigation to Tangipahoa District Attorney Scott Perilou for his review of possible charges, if any. Abelseth believes that if Barnes were charged and convicted of rape, he would have no parental rights.
My understanding in reading the law would be that if someone is convicted of a crime of that nature, then that would be a grounds for termination of parental rights to be instituted.
No criminal charges have been filed against Barnes. In a recent national news interview, Barnes reportedly denied that he forced himself upon Abelseth in 2005, adding that Abelseth had a fake ID and that she said she was a college student. And in what some see as another twist in this complicated case, Abelseth says she was ordered to pay child support to the man she accuses of raping her.
I was ordered to start paying in 2016, retroactive to 2015.
And in February of this year, according to court documents obtained by WDSU Investigates, Abelseth accused Barnes of sexually abusing their now 16-year-old daughter. She claimed that her daughter told her that Barnes had, quote, drugged and sexually assaulted her 2 nights in a row. Abelseth stated that a report that night from Children's Hospital in New Orleans found, quote, evidence of forced entry congruent with sexual assault. In response, Barnes said that didn't happen, and the only reason Abelseth made that claim is because she was not getting what she wanted in the custody fight. A judge later dismissed the allegations after a court hearing officer wrote that, quote, medical evidence does not support allegations in petition.
The reason why I'm fighting so hard now, opposed to whenever things were just about me, is because when she told me what happened to her, that made the mama bear come out. And I'm not going to tolerate anything of that nature against my child.
After giving Barnes full custody of the child back in March and another hearing in mid-June, the judge in the case ordered a new custody arrangement with Abelseth and Barnes sharing custody on alternating weekends, with a third party having custody of the child during the week. We asked John Barnes and his attorney and the DA to go on camera with us multiple times. Neither responded. Aubrey Killian.
Now, this is just nuts. This is nuts as fucking crazy. Nuts as hell. This seemed like it's more traumatic for the little girl, the girl who's going through this, than it is for either one of the parents. I mean, it's embarrassing as hell. They're in a small town. People automatically are going to know who they're talking about. You know, they already know, given the faces, the names. So to carry this on, to keep adding more to this and saying things like this, I think is just doing harm to the case. So they both have custody now. There's a third party who splits the child during the week, and then they get the child on the weekend. And in her ploy to get full custody, she lodged this allegation that was instantly dismissed because they said you can't bring it up in a petition court. So I guess we have to stay tuned to see if she carries this forward. To me, honestly, I feel like the neglect began with the judge rendering him full custody at first, because if during that time, if that happened to your daughter, my first question is, why didn't you say anything, or why didn't she say anything, or why didn't she feel comfortable enough to come to you to share this kind of information, or what, all of those questions are there. So it just leads me to believe that you even had the hospital confirm that there was some form of sexual assault going on there. Then for the court to say you can't use the medical examiner's report in a petition court. So it's like, wow. It's just like a wow. Shoppers at Mondawmin is the most ghetto market in the world, baby. Listen, the park right there, his house is right there, and Mondawmin's right there. I think, and it's easy when you do it on, Uber, because Uber lets you order like hot foods and shit from Shoppers and shit like that. So it's easy when you're doing it on there, but the ones, it was not good. No, never buy crabs in a grocery store, and not mine. Yeah, it was not hitting. I was not trying to be shady. I was like, yeah, these may be the best to you, but baby, not to me. You too, TC. Thank you for coming through. Oh no, you said the last time that he probably did something with the daughter. And here we go. And here we are. And now the daughter is 16 years old. So it just begs the question, how old was this when it happened? And did you tell your mom, and what came from it then? Like, I don't want the habit of we get into a court and then every time we come to court, something new happened. Tell me when it's happening, what's going on. This will help me during the case. I done told you you're not going to do Costco. I have a whole Costco shopping syllabus. Oh, I love it. Here's a crazy thing. I'm in Costco. We had to split up. I'm in the household shopping aisle. I didn't know they had all of the shit they had. I'm just over there like, damn, I'm finding shit. I'm looking at shit. They got mad shit. And I was impressed. I've always been a Sam's Club, and it's okay until it's not. But I was impressed by Costco. I like their bakery. I like the fact they had a deli department. I'm like, I didn't even know they had all of that shit back there. When you walk in the store, you don't typically, I'm always thinking a quick in and out, but it's definitely dope. Tobias and Lexington Market. Oh, no, what the market I went to Holland's Market. That's the market I went to, and I got some fresh fish nuggets, and they fried them there for me too. They were so good, but it was so greasy, and I could feel it all in my chest. I gotta cut it out. I definitely have to worry about. Yes, let me know where to get some good crabs. I'm down. Exactly. Why isn't he in jail already? I steam my own crabs. I don't know how to do it right. I tried to do it the other day, a couple weeks ago. You know what I did? I'm even gonna lie to you. I was lazy. I put my crabs in my instant pot. I put them in the instant pot, seasoning, broccoli, corn. First, the broccoli dissipated into the bottom of the pot. I said, "Oh shit!" The corn was cool, but the crabs were just like they didn't have that seasoning seeped in. I think you gotta boil them, steam them, like in some water. So yeah, I might need y'all to help me out on that. Steaming my own crabs. What's the big flea market's name? Flea markets. Hey, Kurt Vixen, good morning. Patapsco, yes. Patapsco, what you know about that? Where you at? Why is it easy obey and some code 45? Oh my God. This story smells like the stale crabs Roman was eating. Don't it? Don't it smell like something wrong? King's Mina, I swear something is going on in this story. Any malt liquor will do to cook crabs. Really? Liquor and crabs? You know the DA all over this story. She wasn't convincing when she said mama bear. When a real mama says mama bear, you feel it in your soul. I'm glad we felt that, because I was looking at it too, like, look at this, look at this bitch. Somebody gonna hear me one day when I say it. At 16, the girls fates. That's what made me question the whole thing in the first place. I'm like, hold up now. We doing this whole case because I'm trying to get you in custody with me. You've been holding on that the whole time. That's the whole jewel in the nugget. I wouldn't have filed a petition, bitch. We'd have been in criminal court. What are we doing? And so now it was to me, it was like, okay. Oh, BJ's is a good one too. They got this other one here. It's a real local one, but it's called Food Stop or something like that. It's a bulk store. It's cool, but you can tell it's Hispanic focused. It got a lot of but it was cool. I went through it, you know. I didn't, you don't need a membership. I just was like, oh, okay, this is cute. Sam's Club has a banging cheesecake. You like cheesecake? Oh no, not in the Instapot. Y'all are not about to come for me. You Instapotted crabs. Heineken to cook crabs. We neighbors. How we neighbors? Zaire, how we neighbors? Zaire, how are we neighbors? I don't want to see you when I'm about to go walk my dog. I drink good beer. I want to put some beer in my face. I'm gonna need the rundown on steaming me some crabs with some liquor, some malt liquor in it, and light obey, because I don't want it to be spicy. That's what I was trying to do, my own light obey, not as spicy. All right, so now let's get into this next story. So this woman, crazy story. Woman awakens from 2-year coma, identified brother as alleged attacker. So can you imagine? June 2020 was the start of the pandemic. I had to remember, I'm like, what was going on in June 2020? So June 2020 was the start of the pandemic. And on this day, this woman was in her home, okay? And she was attacked with a machete, chopped to the face, chopped to the head, chopped to the chest, knocked the fuck down. And she was left bleeding, slumped over her couch. So police were called because her neighbors had stopped by. So police were called, and they saw this woman bleeding. Unfortunately, she didn't die. Not unfortunately, but fortunately she didn't die. But she was transported to the hospital where she remained in a coma for over 2 years. So police were convinced that this was going to be unsolved because she was the critical person in this case to give them information and details. Well, it wasn't until last Wednesday this woman woke up out of her coma and the nurse called the police like, hey, she's awoke, and told the police that her 55-year-old brother was the one who attacked her. And so the police arrested him without incident and booked him. Get into this story. I want y'all to hear some of these details around this story. So sad. I wish, no, I ain't gonna say I wish my brother would. 'Cause I know he
Just
wouldn't.
down the hill from Eileen Palmer is where her daughter, Wanda Palmer, lives.
They came to the Wednesday morning to mow her grass, and they found her in a big pool of blood. They said they run up on the hill real fast on a four-wheeler and told us, and I called the police and an ambulance.
When Jackson County deputies arrived at Wanda's home, they found a gruesome scene.
We show up and we see her on the couch, bloodied, battered, bludgeoned in the head and face area.
Sheriff Mellinger says they thought she was dead at first, but Wanda was unconscious, barely clinging to life.
You know, the injuries were consistent with being hit with some sort of an edged weapon, a hatchet, an axe, something along that line.
When I spoke to Wanda's mom, Eileen, 2 years ago, she said her daughter didn't deserve what happened to her. And she also said the prayers are what kept her alive.
Thank God she's still alive. Thank God. Prayers is really going up for her.
Those prayers continued, and 10 days ago, Wanda finally opened her eyes from a coma that lasted 2 years. Though their search was extensive, Sheriff Mellinger says the case was cold. But early on, Wanda's brother, Daniel Palmer, had been named a person of interest. When Mellinger went to check on Wanda, she told him her story.
The real thing we were missing up to this point was someone who could tell us what happened. You know, just recently that actually come to fruition, where she was able to not only name the attacker, but tell us that it was in fact her brother.
Wanda identified her brother, Daniel Palmer, as her attacker.
We knew him recently to live in some pretty poor conditions himself. We put together a plan there late last night. Today we had to actually travel by ATV into a remote location.
Sheriff Mellinger says Wanda will never be fully recovered.
She'll never be normal, I mean, per se.
The arrest brings some closure, but the true story is Wanda's resilience.
This case is really about the perseverance and the toughness and the strength of the victim himself.
Now that's a sad ass story. Your brother, your own fucking brother, this whole time you sitting in a coma, 2 years in the hospital. I can only imagine the mother, how she feels about this situation and what's going on. Now her life has changed forever. Definitely a movie. I know it's a little insensitive, but this is definitely a story where I think some of the details coming out about his motive, more of those details should come out as we see as this go to trial. So we'll still have more details to come, but I wanted to bring this up because you never know who, what, when, where, why, family, relative, or anybody who may be lurking to get you and put your ass in a coma. So always remain vigilant. And also, I wish you would have had cameras in her house too. You never think to have cameras, but as a single person, I definitely got a camera in the front, camera in the back. I gotta, I be having to know when I'm in the back who at the front door or who's anything going up there. So I think that, that's also something else, because that could have solved this early on in the case had they did, do some due diligence and was able to get in their place and see remotely who walked through the front door or, who could have came in, a ring alarm or something like that. So just another added layer. That's something we should consider. Now, y'all, this next story is so ghetto. Hey, Karen, good morning. Good morning, Karen. Joe, just get the crab boil bag and drop over in the water, not the instant. Shade. You don't boil crabs, you steam them. Listen. Back in the day I lived on Utah across from the park, I only went to Whole Foods off of Falls Road. I refuse to go grocery shopping at Montgomery. I love Whole Foods. I just have to take my time. I can't go in there just for one item and get out because I always got to go and see some shit. I love their bagel chips. The ones they make fresh in the plastic clear containers, and some of them are seasoned. You get you a little bit of deli meat or something on the cracker, on the bagel chip, and just it's real small and like fresh. Oh my God. We need Face Y'all on your stream. Y'all giving us a non-Instapot crap. I'm down. You know what? I'm down for that, Face. We got to set something like that up because I cannot be in this area and I haven't got my crabs together yet. Yes, that's right. Okay, Clyde. Okay, she down. Happy Wednesday. Wow. Yeah, just nuts. Ashburton King. Oh, okay. Hey. As fuck. So glad she remember after all that time. He looked like he was a typical West Virginian. You have neighbors, no need for cameras. They would have been said something. Oh my God. You know that was Junebug. Yeah, I saw him. He was the only one that was going up in there 2 nights ago. I saw him up, quickly. I guess it pays to be in a community. Isn't it amazing how they'll keep comatose non-melanated folks alive for 2 years, and they advise melanated folks to let their loved ones go? Tell us it's no hope. Let the funeral home come get them. Oh, that is a shame. Okay. What? Toby, you see that? Miss Toby, you see that? I'm gonna have to dust off one of the bad ones to come through. All right, y'all. Let's get into this next story. This shit was funny. I posted it on my community wall. So, a Texas family dines at North Carolina Waffle House and then robs it. So catch this shit. So this couple, now it's a family of 6. So you had a couple with a child, and you had another single mother with some other people with her. I don't think they were kids, but they were people with her. But these 3 individuals were the ones driving and seen on cameras. So they go into the Waffle House, they order a meal, eat the meal, and then pull out a gun, knives, and shit, and tells the hostess, demands the hostess their money. Okay. And then after they get the money, they flee in some cars and get away. Now, here's the funny thing. They did get caught, all of them. Everybody got caught. But this is not the first time. They did this 2 days prior at another location. They sat down and ate and then robbed the place. So this family has been on a tour. Now, here's the couple. I said, why? That's what I wanted to know. She had to make sure she ate first. And here's the other lady. Though this is the one who I believe pulled out a knife, a machete. I said, what? I said, God damn. So they have been arrested, and they're going to be facing charges for all of the additional charges too. They identified them as Tamiko LaShawn Jones and Tony Eugene Lemon. They're both from Marshall, Texas, and Diamond Walton, she's from Longview, Texas. They're charged with robbery with a dangerous weapon, conspiracy to commit armed robbery, and defrauding an innkeeper. They've also committed these same things in Minden, Louisiana, a few days before their Monday robbery. Fucking crazy. I thought that was a crazy ass story. Whoever, what the fuck though? And first of all, how much money we think the Waffle House gonna have on the inside? I mean, let's just be honest. We be thinking these restaurants be having a lot. Sometimes that be in card transactions, payment processor. You think you about to get thousands of dollars? The fuck? Don't forget, the hospital is a business. It depends on your insurance. That's true. It is a business. So true. That's a shame, but it is our organs they want, and that's why they are willing to take us off life support so fast. Oh my God. They say, y'all out here in these summertime vacation streets. Okay. Don't act like I don't see. They put a whole new meaning on Dine It and Dash. And it had, my thing was, I'm thinking it was going to be some young, young folk dudes. These look like people who have been around, who are a little long in the tooth. Like I would say, these people like they're a little long in the tooth. Y'all know better. What kind of risk adventures y'all taking in y'all lives at this point? The fuck? How we had it? Babe, you want to go do that again? What? If one of us ain't got sense enough to stop us, then why are we together? I don't want us we committing the crime together. Bitch, who gonna get us out? Leave me at home. Don't tell me about it. I want to have plausible deniability. The fuck? They went to jail full. That's for sure. Full. I'm sure she woke up mad. I'm outside, still masked up out here. Nonetheless, I'm still making and wearing masks too. Too much fungulitis out here. Still throw my mask on. I be seeing people look at me like, "Why you got your mask on?" I be sitting looking like, "Why you don't have your mask on?" I be reading the reports. Do you feel that you are one of the few that still mask up? Fates. For me, it always depends on where I'm going, and I look at the store and how many people. Is it busy? oh, this is like a mall. I put that bitch on, and when it seemed like it's clear space for me to walk, at least the 4, 5, 7, 8 different people in front of me, I put it maybe down a little bit so I can breathe. Cause I ain't gonna lie, it's been hot around here. I'm not gonna die over no mask now. I gotta be alive. You can't get COVID if you're dead. So I do get that. It's really hot. It's fucking hot outside. Waffle House is always getting robbed. I was in one 10 years ago and 2 men robbed it. What? The Waffle House? You got to be some kind of broke to rob the Waffle House. The powers that be that's creating these new strings and spreading it ain't going to get me. Okay, I wear my mask. I don't care what nobody think. Mask, period. Y'all go ahead. Okay, period. That's it. Yep. My friend, he got a little bandana he puts around his mouth. I just be like, you got to sometimes let people do them. Let people just do them. Because the first thing on my mouth was, why you can't just put on a regular mask? What's up with this bandana shit? You want to look tough? First of all, you got to do so much tying because the bitch don't fit all the way around. So you got to be situating it, roll it up. Oh, shit. You know, I'm saying looking like you doing all of that. Here I go. Let me know when you're ready. I mean, you doing that shit on purpose. Like, you done? All right. That shit around your face. Mask. I had that be twice. COVID is a mess. Oh, I'm glad you much better. Yeah, no Rona is rising in our area. Yeah, no, people, you still should mask up. I definitely think you should mask up. I'm seeing the elevated levels all the time. I keep asking when did they say it was over? They did it. All right. So our next story is just a quick one. This was a quick one I wanted to bring up. I saw it and I said, you know what's gonna happen? So Fulton County DA Fannie Willis says to expect 2 more RICO charges in 60 days. Now, I'm gonna play this little clip, but she went on to literally say that in 60 days, we're gonna see 2 more RICO charges. And now, if you don't remember, she said this before. This isn't nothing new. She said this before that there will be 2 more RICO charges, but not as recent as I think earlier this week. She made this statement. Now, before I share this little clip of her, I want to just give you some more details. So most people are speculating that she's talking about Lil Baby and Lil Durk. There we go. Sorry. Most people are speculating that she's talking about Lil Baby and Lil Durk. She said that before she had made speculation that there's another organized gang that she's paying closely attention to. And at that time, I even came on and said, Lil Durk, Lil Baby, my boo, y'all better be careful. Well, now it's clear as day that that's the focus here and that's the intent. So check this out. Let me see if I can.
Recent months, you got 2 high-profile gang racketeering cases. There's going to be more. Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more. Recent months, you got 2 high-profile gang racketeering cases. There's going to be more. Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
And so you would think that would be a clear signal to these rappers and folks in the hip-hop industry who have labels that may carry themselves like Lil Baby's 4PF. Entourage or label, whatever he's calling it. I want him to start being very, very careful because they are looking at folks. And if they haven't already amassed evidence, they'll use these next 60 days to find more evidence on, of course, we saw looking at your lyrics and the people you keep associated around you all. So this isn't going anywhere. I see this being around soon. So we talked about it now. So I want to make sure in 60 days we see. I am saying it's going to be Lil Baby, 4PF, or Lil Durk, because Lil Durk, even though he's a Chicago native, he lives in Atlanta. And so he might be also wrapped up into this as well. So I'll stay tuned to this. And I hate seeing the young, talented men. Like, I like Lil Baby. I like his work ethic over anything. You know, I like the fact that he tends to stay out of the mess. But see, people can hold you down. You have all those associates who want to be down, got their own gang sheet. They done fucked around and turned 4PF into a whole RICO, and now you're being indicted. So please, you all stay tuned to this. And I'll keep my eyes and ears on this one right here. Lil Baby, don't play with me. Do not play with me. I don't want none of that. Let's see, a bandana. That's nasty. They're not putting it on the same side every time. Don't, please, because please, you know you my friend, Boo Boo. Boo Boo, you know you my friend. I'm only sharing what what we joke about. You and your damn bandana and your scarf. I'm some. I said, why don't you want to wear a mask? I don't, because he's one of these people. I don't do what the government tells me to do. Let's not get into this conversation. Me and him be having arguments. Y'all think I be having arguments here? I be having arguments with him. He's extra conservative. Brick Girl, it ain't folks in denial thinking the vaccine cleared it all. Meanwhile, they have 2 more variants that don't care nothing about and not responding to it. You better tell her what happened to Jack Harlow on these charges. Nothing. Oh, so glad you have recovered from it. Yeah, I'm glad. Anybody else who may have caught the run, I'm glad you all recovered. They locking up all the babies besides the baby. Lock his ass up. The baby, you think the baby? I mean, yeah, he shot somebody in the butt. I remember that and got away with that. But you think the baby is that hard? I don't even see him being hard like that behind the scenes. Like I see him being rub my feet kind of guy. I don't know. I'm vaccine boosted and still wear my mask. I quarantined when I took all precautions. Okay. Y'all don't want to do that, what the government say, but when them stimulus checks drops, y'all first in line at the motherfucking bank. Okay. All right, y'all. So this one I have to talk about it. So remember we talked about the story about the transgender woman who got 2 of the female inmates at the prison of which she was also locked up in. It was a female prison. She got the 2 inmates pregnant. Well, she has now been moved out of the women's facility in New Jersey and into a mixed community and housed in the male portion of this mixed community. It's not really a prison, it's more like a detention facility. And so it's interesting because when we first covered the story, we didn't have a visual of what he looked like or what she looks like. What she looks like. We didn't have any of that. And now she's created a Twitter page, which she's had for a while, but really didn't use, I guess. And so I was on the Twitter page last night reading her tweets. And it's definitely, let me tell you what's going on here. So what she is alleging through her Twitter account, and I'll share the Twitter page on my community wall and good stuff. And we're going to watch a video of her at the women's prison, and then we're going to watch a video of her at this new facility because that's what she shared on her Twitter, and she's trying to talk about how it's different. So she's alleging that her attorney, her public defender, lied to the court and told the court that she now is no longer transgender and identifies as a male. And that's why she was moved to this unit. It wasn't because she wanted to, it's because they lied and set her up. And so she's alleging on her Twitter page, that this is a conspiracy. She wants transgender rights. Nothing. She doesn't mention anything about the pregnancies or anything like that. She wants rights. She doesn't feel like they care. She even went as far as to say, I'm willing to take my own life. Why do I care? I want to give up. And I'm just like, wow. So before I continue telling the story, I'm going to show you a clip of her at the women's facility. And she put it up to show how she was so separated from the other women that she was fine. She was fine. She didn't need to move. She didn't want to move. She was comfortable where she was. So get into this clip. And then I'm going to come back with my opinion. I just want to make sure I share everything the right way. Okay, you're not it.
I want you to see the environment. So they put.
All right, now before I share this clip, I want to let you know that she is not like there's no wig, there's no makeup, there's not really a lot of things that are physically apparent that she's a transgender woman in this video. Now, in this video, she's at the facility, the Edna facility, with the other female inmate. So check this out.
I just want you to see the environment. So they put 5 of us in here, and I'm just being patient right now. But 5 of us in here, and I'm confused at what our recreation is like. What's the way we'll be treated? You know, are we a different unit? Are we still general population? No one's been able to answer these questions, so it's difficult. It's frustrating. I just wanted you to see what's going on. I just wanted you to see the environment. So they put 5 of us in here, and I'm just being patient right now. But 5 of us in here, and I'm confused at what our recreation is like. What's the way we'll be treated? You know, are we a different unit? Are we still general population? No one's been able to answer these questions, so it's difficult. It's frustrating. I just wanted you to see what's going on.
So that was the clip of him in the facility, and you know, appears very segregated. He said it was 5 of them in there, so it wasn't like he was amongst the other population. And again, on his Twitter page, this is to help build the narrative that I'm already segregated. You know, they already have me separated. It's only 5 of us in here, so I don't know what else you want. Why is it such a big uprising of me being in this house, in this facility? Now, I'm gonna show you. Oh my God. I just saw your question face. Let me. I'm gonna tell you. Hold on 1 second. The original charge was. Oh, here we go. Hold on. So her original charge is a 21-year-old trans woman. She's serving a 30-year sentence for carjacking and manslaughter. She was found guilty of stabbing Theodis Butts, her former foster father, who was 69, to death when she was 16. She started her transition in 2020 and was moved out of the male prison system to the all-female Edna Mahan Correctional Facility for women, where there are now 27 trans prisoners. And that's the clip that I showed you earlier, where she was saying that it's only 5 of us in here. Now, while serving time at the 800 inmate New Jersey women's prison, Minor reportedly got 2 fellow inmates pregnant before being transferred to a men's prison. And so she also has a blog called justicefordemi.org if you want to go check that out. Now, here's the clip of her at her new facility. Let me just play this clip. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to play the clip. So Yeah, that's where we are today. And so Demi is fighting for her rights. She says that she is wrongfully placed. She wants to be back in a female center. That video clip, when she posted it to her page, her title was "Thanks all her fans." She appreciates the love and support. She hates it there, and she wants to go back to her old facility. And so, you know, my opinion truly and honestly is that if indeed you identify as a transgender female, and there are, and it's that's what you identify as, and there are accommodations within that state made for transgender individuals, I feel like you should be able to reap those benefits. What I don't know is, why would they not provide you those benefits? Which leads me to believe, was what is the conversation that you've had with your attorney? And like you said, your attorney could have lied on you and said that you don't agree to it. But I think there's some missing pieces here. I don't know if by you saying that, you would have got a lighter sentence, maybe came out easy for good, fair good behavior. I don't know what the mechanics of the deal or the negotiation was, but if it sounds like we're missing some of the story, that's why I'm slow to respond with what I think. Just looking off the surface, and I'm being honest, I got to be honest. You know, I have two eyes and two ears. If just looking off the surface, it seems like you were placed in the male facility because they felt like you wouldn't be as much of a risk as would a transgender individual being placed and housed in that facility. I know there are some male prisons that have transgender women there, but I think in this state where they do afford, rights for transgender women, I feel like you were placed because in their mind you wasn't much of a risk. So you can go be a transgender or woman, but we're going to place you here. And I don't know if that speaks to, were you much of an advocate for your own rights, or did you have right people in your corner? And so now you have the site set up, justiceForDemi.org, and you're tweeting about this, it's hour by hour. And so I'll be here to see what's going on and pay attention to it. But again, I do definitely feel like if you identify as a transgender female woman, you should be afforded the rights they give other transgender women inmates in the state. Now, if there are stipulations around, like if you break them, let's say, for example, you decide you have a baby with a female, then you have to suffer those consequences. I'm not gonna get around that shit. Nobody go to jail to be thinking people having babies and shit, unless you're doing conjugal visits. But you to be an inmate in there and you getting off and having babies, yeah, I don't know. Because it then begs the question, are you fully transitioned? Are you we don't know. I don't know. So all those questions come into play. That's why I'm slow to react. And I'm just, I want more details to come out. So I'm going to be following Demi's Twitter. If you all want her Twitter handle, I'm going to share it. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Let me drop. If you all want to go check out Miss Demi, here you go. Let's see what y'all was saying. Right, Joe. Then the beating and robbing of the promoter. Send me the Twitter. I just dropped it. If you have a dingaling, you should not be housed with the women. You know he going to use it. Woo! She sounds like a he. That part Zaire. Hello, that's a man, Damon. Okay, he looks like a he. That's a dude with an A cup. Did you say he got two? Yes, two women pregnant. My new greeting is, hey boo. Y'all not about to have me out here confused as fuck. Hey boo, hey. Oh my goodness. She has not one but a few babies. So I think them transfers her out was right. That's what I'm saying. Like at a certain point, we have to be a little logical, Hey Jason. Is it Jason? I'm tripping on social media in prison. I was too. Do you see them? Did you see the video of them standing in the background? Hold up. What is going on? Hey, good morning, Busy Blue. Shout out to Busy Blue. Good morning to you. Thank you for coming through. I'm looking like, wait, what? So transfer. We'll see if there's anything to come out of that. I don't think they're going to move her back to a female prison center anytime soon, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of deal she landed for herself. Now, you all, let me wrap this up. So the Bodega Store owner, we all know that the charges against him have been dropped. Fortunately, because of the evidence provided, the judge decided to drop the charges. First, they lowered the bail, and then all the charges, including the second-degree murder, have been dropped against the 61-year-old man during the altercation inside the store earlier this month. Now, I figured something like this would happen, but here's my only thing with this, you all. I have one fucking problem with this. One problem. Like, I was all for this man being acquitted. I was all for that until I read one fucking comment under one of the videos I saw. Now I'm gonna share this video with you all just so you can see this man's injuries and all of that good shit.
New photos of bodega worker Jose Alba
Damn,
show the
bitch,
scars
give me
left
a
behind
chance.
from his confrontation turned deadly at the Blue Moon Bodega in Hamilton Heights.
Alba was slashed in the arms by the girlfriend of Austin Simon. After Alba killed 37-year-old Simon in what his attorneys are calling self-defense.
The graphic confrontation was caught on surveillance. 61-year-old Alba stabbed 37-year-old Simon after he cornered Alba
behind the cash register, angry because his girlfriend's EBT card was denied. Alba is home with an ankle monitor after a week-long stint on Rikers Island facing a murder charge. Head of the Bodega Owners Association, Francisco Marte, bailed him out.
We got to keep pressure. We have to keep fighting because, you know, what is happening to Jose is unfair.
While Alba quietly awaits his fate,
making sure that there is justice for Mr. Alba. We want to see Mr. Alba acquitted.
United Bodegas of America is calling on the Manhattan District Attorney to ensure the safety of bodega workers facing dangerous situations across New York City.
The video speaks for itself, and everyone knows that this man didn't go out that morning thinking he was going to kill someone.
No, okay, great, wonderful. He's been acquitted, rightfully so. I strongly hope this ain't no motherfucking round up the evidence against being lethal and providing excessive force to black people. I certainly hope this ain't the fucking case, because I was reading in comments like this should be more proof that justifies why people need to have arms. Are you fucking kidding me? First of all, it was excessive. Let's not forget that. Yes, he was protecting himself, but even that was excessive. Okay, that's why he was fucking arrested. So I think everyone will still need to go through the same process. I don't want this to be like, you see what happened at the bodega, very isolated situation. It was an actual situation. It wasn't individual black male in a store committing a crime or something. This was a very isolated situation. This woman came in the store, debit card declined, and she wanted to get the baby chips. You walked around the corner, first mistake, and you took the chips. I mean, how hard up are you not to just give the little girl the fucking chips? Whatever. Okay, you choose not to. Still an isolated situation. She goes to get her man, comes back, and then that's where it pursued. This ain't no everyday type of situation. We don't always talk about no woman going to get her man to go. So I don't want to hear none of that shit. I don't want to hear no, look what happened. No, fuck all of that bullshit. And if anything, it was minority on minority. It wasn't none of that shit. So that's the first thing I said. I'm like, this ain't got nothing to do. Don't even pull that out the rug. This will provide more justification why we use excessive force. Yeah, okay. And you be arrested too. That's what happens. You'll get arrested as well. When his prison bae walked by, like, I'm getting that later. That Joe, you're not finna do that. Because I saw the same thing and I said, wait a minute. Why are you walking? Why are you walking by like that? They're allowed to get in social media. Yes, they are. Film. Let me keep my mouth closed. But there's a whole Twitter world out there for the prisoners where they be uploading videos and they got whole accounts. All you got to do is hashtag a certain hashtag and you'll see what life looks like in prison. I mean, everything you can name, how they cook, entertainment, how they take care, all that shit. So it's out there. Yes, it is. Now I saw this Linda B. You from Rochester too? I'm trying to figure out because I have a lot of Linda B's in my life. And so I'm like, you a Linda B from Rochester. I hope it ain't the Linda B I know. Not happening in Illinois prisons. I'm confused. Oh my God, y'all, that's hilarious. All right, y'all. So now I know y'all have heard about this story. The woman who is suing her man for $10,000 after a bad date. Baby, let me tell you about this woman. Oh, crazy, 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 crazy woman. So this woman went on a date. Now, mind you, this was 2 fucking years ago. 2 years ago. She goes on a date with this man. He's a no-show. He doesn't pull up. Now, this was significant for her because her mother had just passed. So she was looking forward to this date. I'm sure she got her all dressed up. They got a nice spot, chose a nice place, and he doesn't show up. So then she decides to file a motion to sue him in civil court. And this woman goes batshit on the judge after he basically told her, honey, wrong court, wrong case. What the fuck you doing in here? So we about to get into this and we about to dissect this really, really fucking quickly. I said, see, this is when you need to be on medication. Sometimes you have to self-diagnose yourself. You need to walk into a pharmacy and say, hey, here's what I'm going through. What can you do for me? And I'm being dead ass serious. So I'm going to skip through some of this, but we're going to get into this part right here.
To represent yourself on this?
I to be honest with you, sir, I thought this was just going to be thrown out. We had a date, one date, and nothing else after that. And now I'm being sued for $10,000. I don't see how this is going to go any further. I think it's a waste of your time.
The problem is this. If you think it should be dismissed, you need to file the appropriate motion. You need to file a motion to ask for that.
In that letter, he lied. And then that's what brought forth the perjury. It was never perjury in the beginning. It was perjury after his response.
Well, you can't say, listen, he has the right to put whatever is in the answer.
I'm not saying he can't, but
you can't add another count because you don't like or you disagree with what is in his.
Now, mind you, this is at the part where she's telling the judge, like, how you going to tell him to dismiss the case? This is what I'm doing. And mind you, she's at the rental company right now on the phone, returning a rental car. How serious do you fucking take this? So she's literally, you'll be able to hear her say, making a transaction. So she's on the phone arguing her point while she's at the fucking rental company.
His answer.
If he responds and his response is a lie, it's perjury, then my documents will prove that he lied and his response.
No. It's his version. First of all, do you understand what perjury is?
Yes, I understand perjury is a lie. I know what perjury means.
Perjury is a statement, a false statement made under oath. So
exactly, and I got documents that prove he was lying.
You don't understand. It's a false statement made under oath. Under oath.
That stated a lie.
When did he testify to something that he lied about? It's a false statement made under oath.
Bottom line is, you said it's a criminal offense, so I will send it to circuit court. Are we done here?
No, you don't understand, ma'am. You don't understand.
Are we done here? Are we done here?
Perjury is
perjury
is a false statement made under oath.
I know what perjury means. Are we done
no,
here?
You don't.
Is it a criminal offense or not?
What statement? I don't see anything in the complaint that says he made some false statement under oath.
Because you don't know what happened. You're on the outside looking in. You don't know anything.
But you're the plaintiff. Wait a minute. You are the plaintiff.
Are we done here?
You have to lay out your allegations properly.
Are we done here?
No,
I
we're
know
not.
exactly what perjury means.
No, we're
Do
not.
insult my intelligence.
You have to
Please do not insult my
you have
intelligence.
to lay your you have to lay your
Please do
you
not
have to
insult my
lay
intelligence.
your complaint out. It has you have to allege this in the complaint. You have
Please
not.
do not insult my intelligence.
It's not about that. You don't think I don't think you understand what perjury is. It's a false statement made on oath.
So we're not done. They go on and on, clearly on the word perjury. This girl don't understand that you cannot say he committed perjury on a document that wasn't submitted under oath. Perjury pertains to court. When you're in court under oath, they weren't under oath. So you're saying he lied on a document. That has nothing to do with me, ma'am. That's between you and whoever you turn that damn document in. You should have figured that shit out. But it wasn't submitted here, and it's not under oath on the court. That's what he's trying to explain to her. But she thinks she knows so much more than him. And this girl is just going. So she got to this point in the conversation where they put her on mute. And she's still going. She's still in the background. I said, oh, this is beef sector. I said, wait a minute. I said, I wonder why I'm so fucking drawn to this shit. I said, this ain't nothing but the motherfucking beef sector. I said, she was still going. She got a whole sector for her. She playing games. You playing games, girl.
But it is something that can't be done in district court. Now, that's what I said to you. You are on the mistaken belief that circuit court does not hear civil matters because you said, well, I thought circuit court only did criminal. You are the one who are mistaken about the jurisdiction of circuit court because that's what you stated on the record. Unmuted.
She's been talking the entire time.
Well, I said I was muted.
Judge, excuse me, you don't understand how this works. Let me explain something to you about Zoom right quick.
Okay.
When I muted her and now I'm asking her to unmute, if she doesn't do something on her end, she's still muted. So right now she's still muted. But I have asked her to unmute. She's not looking at the device that she's holding.
I am ordering that this go to 7th Circuit Court.
So after she just going off on mute, she was just going off. She was just over there, and I said, reason I'm laughing because that's me, bitch. I don't give a fuck, bitch. What? She just going off on mute. They done muted her to the point, and then you heard a clerk get a little, excuse me, you don't understand how this works. Hold up, bitch. Wait now. Hold up. Mute. Pause the whole production. Stop everything. Girl, you will get there. What is going on? Go get Stacy. Y'all need to switch. You feeling real antsy today. Go get Stacy. I'm looking at her like, oh, girl, you better, what the hell? Okay, just because you might be an elected official, girl, you can still get I don't know what the hell's going on in this community. So she's sitting there on mute. She hears it. She just drops off the call on her own. Drop off the call. And so at this point, this is where the judge just decides to move this case to another court. So let's get into this last little bit.
Court venue is to be changed because intentional infliction of emotional distress is a circuit court matter outside the jurisdiction of district court. Plaintiff shall pay the filing fees in the receiving court. And I don't know if you asked for a jury trial or not. You did not, it looks like. So there was no jury fee. No further proceedings shall be had after transfer until these costs or expenses are paid. If not paid within 56 days of the date of this order, this case shall be dismissed by the court to which it was transferred.
What a fucking mess. What a mess. So he left her with all the court costs, the plaintiff. She got all the court costs. And she has 56 days to pay it or it's going to be dismissed. Bitch, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? All of this because he did not show up for a date? You ain't even know what it was like. Did you get some for it? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, at what point do we go crazy over someone not showing up? Okay, somebody in my family passed, and I'm looking forward to this date. You can't call nobody else? I mean, you got a kitty cat. You should be able to, like, that's niggas that'll just be on, just want the attention of a woman. You can't. Something's off with her. I feel like she might have a problem on her hands. I don't know what this problem is, but if any other man finds out that this is what she's giving up, I don't know if she's gonna be coupled up. I don't know. Girl, you giving me very much so stalking a bitch. What's the hashtag? Wouldn't you like to know? Oh, Joe, why you be trying to joke? Add me on Twitter. Send me a message on Twitter, and I will share. I'm old, probably not one you know. Yep, grew up on West Side and then South Park, Genesee Street. We were just talking about Genesee Park Valley, the community center over there, because my TT wants to join the golf club, and I've been looking them up for her, but they not her league type. Homeboy dodged a bullet. She is batshit crazy. He sure did dodge a bullet. She's out in a dirty headscarf, written a car. Come close, my baby. Come close, my baby. Come close, my love. Yes, she was. Keyword under oath. She just going. But what you don't tell me, I don't know what perjury means. You trying to insult my intelligence. Bitch, wait, hold up now. What? You came to me for judgment. I didn't go to you. Why is Judge Joe Brown arguing instead of dismissing the case and banging his gavel? Period. I would have dismissed the case and checked my clerk. He was I saw on both angles. I'm sitting here looking like, well, damn. I'm telling you, I would have paused the whole production. We'd have had to stop this. Hold up. Recess. What's the word? That's what it is. Recess. Are you feeling all right? What the fuck is going on? Wait a minute. She went to Dollar Tree Law School and she knows. Did you hear her insult my intelligence? Oh my, throw it out with prejudice. That man dodged a whole bullet. Intelligence will stop and think about what dude said. She need to go find some intelligence. Hey, Sophia, good morning. Good morning. Yes, she is so irrational. She's gonna be alone for a long ass time. I do not see anybody want to entertain this shit. You know, she was the one who took the dude to court because he didn't show up for the date. What message does that send to anybody? I don't care if you're a male or female. A male suing a woman because that's to me, that's even worse. Like, are you kidding me? You that hard up? You suing bitches because they ain't showing up for the date? You better go and get a toy, a doll, a sex doll will do or something. Beef sector court all day. That is crazy. Hey, Captivating Christian. Good morning, sir. Good morning to you. Thanks for coming through. We have to get you up here to do local news with me. One time you were requested by somebody. They sent me a message that said, why don't you think about Captivating Christian? Little did they know I've already reached out to Captivating Christian. Oh no, that's not a scarf. It's a Party City wig. I can see why that first day went horribly. And she not going to pay it. Serves her right. Pay up. Oh, he didn't show up. No, he didn't show up. Very off. Okay, now you out of shmoney. And it was 2 years ago. Nothing in these 2 years told you to just give it up. Like, bitch, like, let it go. I mean, at arbitration, you didn't think it was like you really thought this was going to go to trial. She's gonna do him like that lady in the movie Misery. Don't put that on that man. That was a headscarf. I thought it was blonde hair. Hold up now. Let me go back real quick.
He was lying.
Oh my God, y'all! It's a scarf. That's a blonde scarf. Hold up. Y'all got to see what I see. That's a blonde scarf, y'all. Y'all see this?
Understand? It's a false statement made under oath. Was he testifying something that he lied about?
No, it's a wig.
A false statement made under oath.
Bottom line is you said it's a criminal offense, so I will send it to circuit court. Are we done here?
No, you don't understand, ma'am. You don't understand.
Are we done here? Are we done here?
Perjury is what perjury means.
I know exactly what perjury means. I know what perjury means. Are we done here?
No, you don't.
Is it a criminal offense or not?
What statement I don't see anything in the complaint that says he made some false statement under oath.
Because you don't know what happened. You're on the outside looking in.
Oh no. Couldn't have been me sitting up in that courtroom as the judge and you talking to me like that. I'd have broke the whole mute button trying to slam that bitch. I'd have been throwing shit at my mute that bitch. Mute that bitch. Mute that bitch. Green screen, black screen, mute that hoe. Are you kidding me? Yes, it was a whole wig. God blocked it. He better rejoice in that favor. I know he's happy he didn't show. I know he's embarrassed too. Like, y'all, I ain't even know. I mean, y'all think about people like this got jobs, co-workers, people they don't want to know. Like, damn, girl, you don't drag people into your sorry ass misery. I thought it was hair too. It was a whole blonde wig, y'all. He had to do something with her. He done sucked her toes or something. Kings Mina. I said the same. I said, was it good? Like, what did he knock it out the park? Girl, you suing over that? And you know they say niggas like that can eat they eat it wide. They use the whole tongue. The whole tongue. So I don't know if he was giving wide tongue or not, but that sometimes, yeah. Oh, I thought it was hair. Nah, that's a wig, y'all. What did she use? Like, why are we doing this? Law is a whole wig. It's a wig with black edges. Oh Lord. Yeah, that's a wig. Okay, dodge a whole bullet. Dirty dishwater blind, but a wig. If I was a judge, I definitely would have said, not her saying to me. I'm like, bitch, are you kidding me? Get out of here, right? If you don't get your ass out of here. So that's what happened with that. All right, now I want to breeze by this story because this shit had me going like, are we really here now? So this man, oh my God, that last story got me. So this man, right, for over a year had been planning to kill his mother. And so the day he finally does it, he lures his mother over to his house to tell her, he told her, bring me the mail that's been coming to your house. And he lured her over to his house. As soon as she got in, he hit her in the head, blunt force trauma. And then he called the police. The police showed up on the scene and he was arrested. Now, mind you, earlier this year and years past, he had been checked in to the psychiatric ward for a psychiatric review. They couldn't find anything. And then we get here. And so this is the man. Let me show you a picture of him. Florida man allegedly lured his mom to basement, fatally stabbed and beat her with a hammer. So let me give you some of the details of this story. So authorities were dispatched to Lopez's home at the Palms at Countryside Apartments along US Route 19 North in Clearwater on July 17th. After a neighbor reported hearing a woman screaming for help. Upon arrival, investigators discovered Mary Lopez deceased inside the apartment. She had been stabbed multiple times and also beaten with a hammer. Her son, Logan Lopez, told both responding officers and homicide detectives that he'd kill her. Her murder was premeditated, and he said he planned to kill her for a year. He said he lured his mother to his apartment for the purpose of putting an end to her after planning the murder for over a year. Now, his motive is said that he invited her into the apartment to look at his furniture. Once she brought the mail over, he hit her on the head with a hammer from behind and repeatedly stabbed her. He said his motive was that his mother had enslaved him. So he had been taken in February for evaluation under the State Baker Act, which allows for the involuntary committal of people who are a danger to themselves or others. They did not state what the result of the evaluation was. He doesn't appear to have a past criminal history. He's being held without bond at the Pinellas County Detention Center. The 24-year-old appeared on court on July 17th. That was Sunday, in separate court filings. He pleaded not guilty and was appointed a public defender. No future court dates have been set. Now, this shit is crazy as hell. His poor mother, she didn't even know she was coming to her damn demise. Not at all. But the signs were there. The fact that he had multiple instances of going to a psychiatric award, the Baker Act being invoked on him, and no criminal history. That to me in itself reads crazy shit. You have no criminal history, but you need to be Baker Act. something's off. Either you haven't committed the crime yet, or you really are crazy. And so we see he hadn't committed the crime yet. So in my mind, why hadn't that been, something? And a loving mother, they're gonna come over anyways, and he invited her in to check out her furniture. Now, whether she enslaved him or not, there were other ways during his course of his life as a 27-year-old man to have solved those. What you can't speak, bitch, you can't talk. At 21, you should have been telling the moon. She enslaved, she had me in chains and whips. That you should have been telling her what now you want. To me, it's crazy. So we shall see the outcome of this. Unfortunately, it took the point of his mother being killed by her own son. I think that's the worst crime ever anybody can commit, is to kill your own mother. Now, in our final story of the day, we've been rocking out. Whoa, shout out to the news crew. It is a pleasure. I hope y'all hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Just give me a little like. Give me a little like with black edges. Oh, Lord. Yeah, that wig is done here, ma'am. Okay. Oh my God, that's so sad. Florida again. Yes. She enslaved him. So when did it hit you hard? That's what I'm trying to figure out. All these adults coming out, settling their issues of their childhood, when there's so many ways and steps that you can deal with that along the way. Don't let that shit bubble up and fester up. That was something I learned in my whole therapy thing last year along the lines. And something I continue on. Don't let shit fester up. Just, you got to release that shit, or it's going to be stress and unwanted consequences. And unfortunately, here's his unwanted consequences. If she allegedly enslaved him, we'll never fucking know now. So sad. The Baker's Act isn't effective. I remember Funky Dineva speaking about his experience of the act and his mentally ill. Right. Remember that. And they released his brother. And they kept releasing his brother. I remember that. Something's bad in the milk. Zaire, it's rotten as hell. I'm off the belief that there should be a law where the state or someone can take full control over the rights of the mentally ill. They should be able to force help for safety purposes, because it is a public safety issue. It is, and a public health issue. I don't want somebody in a grocery store with me contemplating knifing us all up in that bitch. I don't want that, especially if they don't had a psych evaluation. Hell motherfucking no. I don't know if we got to give special hats out or something, maybe a certain wrist color, nail polish. But I want to have a sign. I absolutely, I'm with you. Or we can, I'm not saying be on North Korea shit, detention camps and shit like that, but I definitely think there needs to be like maybe a 30-day holding period where we can give you a 30-day evaluation, not just a weekend. Because isn't the Baker's Act 48 hours? What the fuck is 48 hours? I can act really well in 48 hours. Now I need to see you over an extensive period of time. Now I know the issue will become, how do we house these people? How do we plan for that and budget for that? It's not a significant crisis as such as other issues, but still it's becoming one. The fuck? Enslaved mini she had him clean it. That's what it meant, right? Swept up a couple of spots. Maybe she had him clean up his own dishes. Oh my God. Our last story is a very, very sad story. So we have another one. Robert Adams. And Robert Adams comes to us. San Bernadino. So we have this 23-year-old black man who was shot while running away from San Bernadino police. So this just happened over the last couple of days. Now, the gist of the story is that there's this illegal gambling facility in the community, and neighbors have been calling. People have been calling on this facility. They see the traffic in the area, and I get it. If you're in a family-oriented community and you got the neighborhood watching, you see something going on, people coming in and out of the door, you're going to call police. The police are going to show up and inspect, right? Well, on this day and on this given day, the victim here who died was serving as the bodyguard. He was the security. He will open the door, let people come in, watch them, make sure, be the watch out of this illegal gambling facility. So when he saw that the police were riding by, he decides to exit out the door and walks towards them, but then run off like, I'm about to run. I don't know what you all are about to do. Do you know that the police pulled up because they're still in their car at this point, and they're telling him, hey, don't run, stop running. Now, no other reason. Bitch, I can run. You didn't tell me you was looking for me. I wish I would. That's like you saying if y'all driving past me on the side of a street and I'm hiking, I gotta stop. Bitch, ain't no justification. I can fucking run. Are you kidding me? We're getting shot because we running now. Are you make me want to go run in front of a fucking police officer? This is why disrespect for police officers is born. There was no justification. So the police officers pull up. 15 seconds of them exiting the vehicle, they shoot and kill this man. There was no words. There was no nothing. Just guns pulled out and shot. No fucking cause. So then it happens, and now they're saying that he had warrants, he was a criminal, all of this other shit that we've never ever, that was never in play. Y'all ain't never pop up because he had warrants. Y'all ain't never pop up because he was a criminal. Why all of a sudden now that shit matters? The fuck? How many times y'all don't roll past? So, okay, we got that. Now they're saying that he had a gun on him. And the mother is like, my son ain't had no gun on him. His weapon was in his vehicle. So then they go to the vehicle, and that's where they retrieve and find the gun. I said, oh, hell no. You bitches, I'm getting sick of this shit. Y'all get into this fucking clip. I'm getting sick of it. I really am getting sick of it because it's becoming to the point where it's like, I'm a black man. The fuck you mean? If something happens, that's what people do. They run away from something. Can you imagine being on a fucking beach and guns start firing in the air and the police riding by, and because we break out running, they want to pull a gun out and shoot? Bitch, are you that's not in my rights as a human being, especially not in America. All kind of fucking offenses and violations here. So check this out. I'm like, watch how this man really is literally just trying to get away. Like anybody would probably be trying to do in this situation. Yeah, I know it doesn't look right, but it still doesn't give them 15 seconds to get out their car and shoot him though. The fuck? He got a life too.
And killed while running from police. New developments tonight and a story CBS 2 broke less than 24 hours ago. Good evening, everyone. I'm Pat Harvey. Within hours of our story airing, the police department released new photos to support its version of events, and a high-profile attorney took up the fight for the family of the man who was killed. CBS 2's Jeff Nguyen is live in San Bernardino now with the very latest developments in this case. Jeff.
Pat, the police department here says that it is in the process of investigating this shooting, and it also says that the security video that's been circulating online doesn't tell the full story.
Alexis Hernandez contributed to a growing memorial for Robert Adams. The 23-year-old died after being shot by police Saturday. A security camera shows Adams in a parking lot. Then an unmarked San Bernadino police car pulls up. Two police officers in uniform get out, and at least one of them starts shooting. Adams immediately ran away. We've paused the video before he was shot and killed.
I watched the video. That was just... I don't understand. Like, he's running away.
Adams' family says he was working as a security guard. They spoke to our Nicole Comstock Monday night.
He was not a threat to them. He was running for his life.
Attorneys Ben Crump and Bradley Gage are representing the Adams family. In a joint statement, they said Robert appeared to be simply walking around the parking lot when officers exited their unmarked vehicle, firing their weapons at him immediately. Robert never even had a chance to explain himself.
That was murder, period.
Monday night, the San Bernardino Police Department released a statement in which it says the officers were investigating an illegal online gambling business when it says Adams pulled a gun from his waistband and began walking towards the officer's car. The department provided an enhanced photo of the gun in his hand and a picture of the weapon that was recovered. Hernandez says she was dealing with gambling problems, drug addiction, and homelessness. There were times Adams would find her wandering the streets.
You pick me up and I'm taking you somewhere where you don't need to be out here doing that. You're way better than that.
And the police department says that it is planning to release officer body cam video as well as a clearer version of the security footage. In addition, the chief will also provide statements about the use of force. We are live in San Bernardino. Jeff Nguyen, CBS 2 News. Thank
you. I forgot to mention that it was an unmarked vehicle. That adds even more insult to injury. See, when y'all pull up in those unfucking marked vehicles, tinted windows, and y'all get out like that, Nobody knows you're a police officer. You could be doing a whole fucking shooting. You see the uptick in shootings, people riding by. I'd have ran too. And because I'm running for my life, not knowing what the fuck y'all doing, I get shot and killed. That shit is senseless to me. I'm ready for more body cam footage and all that shit. And then they're saying that they found a gun. There's this picture of this gun in his hand that he pulled out. I want to see the timing of that. How close was that to him? Because when he was walking away from the car, there was no gun in his hand. He ran with hand motion. So where was the fucking gun? Are you talking about y'all got surveillance footage of him earlier in the day, maybe walking by with a gun in his hand? Are you talking about that? And that led to you believing he had a gun on him? Like, y'all not gonna play the semantic shit with me. I need more evidence. That bullshit out of here. I hate that shit. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to Robert Adams, 23-year-old man. I'm not saying what he was doing was wrong or right. I'm not saying it was right, because absolutely, helping an illegal gaming facility, we know it's fucking wrong. But at the same time, if this was feeding his family, taking care of his business, and all these years went by and y'all never caught him for whatever warrants and legal crimes, I'm trying to figure out, did it cause this man to lose his fucking life? Because that could have been my brother, anybody. Senseless. Fucking senseless. There's layers to this, of course. Oh, yeah. They didn't know that before they shot him. Right. They going to jail. Sorry, I had to step out into the bushes for a minute. Appreciate you, I Spy CT. You Gucci. Have to. There is no cause for discharging and killing him simply because he ran. Where can I want to see that policy somewhere? You cannot run if you're black. Running while black now. We got RWBs they giving out now, running while you black. They do it in the movies all the time. Wow, Crump is everywhere. Ben Crump is everywhere. I saw that. I said, how you doing all of this shit? I know you got it. I know it really ain't you. He got to have his AIDS. Lord Crump is always involved in these situations with barely. If he ran, they shot. What clearer picture could they paint? Damages. Okay. That's where he went wrong at, messing with that white woman. You saw her, right? At least she was loyal. Do you remember Jump Out Thursdays? Oh my God. Where people would get out their cars on Thursdays and start shooting. They never get the school shooters. They get baby treatment all the time. And then this one ain't even posing a threat to any fucking body. So I don't know you. 23, so sad. Ben Crump on this case. So we got to wait for more details to come out from the store. Still, right now at this moment, it ain't enough. It ain't enough to prove or justify killing this young man, especially with that body cam footage. Now, we've seen the footage from the store angle, right? We've seen this and it came out almost immediate. So we can sort of believe that it's unedited. But let's watch this body cam footage that comes out, and I'm damn sure gonna report on it. And if I feel or see like any of it has been edited to help their story, we're going to talk about that shit. Because see, I think that's the next thing coming up. Then you got some folks saying that they don't want you to record police pushing bills. You can't. We talked about it, Arizona. You can't record police officers unless you have consent from them or unless you're on private property. Nah, you see why we need to be recording fucking police officers? We need multiple cameras. That body cam footage shit don't work. We'd have still been waiting to get put pictures. This shit wouldn't even be relevant if we not have no other cameras recording police officers. So, in my opinion, yeah, we need more evidence. And rest in peace to this man. Rest in peace to Robert Adams. Condolences, prayers to this man's family. I am so sorry that he had to pass away like this. 23-year-old man, 23 years old. That is crazy to me. Crazy to me. News crew. No, the cops would jump out on people. Oh, now that's the shit I'm talking about right there. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yes, that's dangerous. So thank you all for being here. I'm about to run it back real quick what we covered today. Shout out to Alina Anna Lay. She's the youngest Black person to ever be accepted into medical school. She was accepted at the age of 13 and she finished her undergraduate studies at the end of 12. Such a huge sacrifice and so motivating to me as well. We talked about the House passing the bill to protect marriage equality and interracial marriage, with 47 GOP members voting yes, and most of the Republicans saying, you know, okay, we can do this, but it's really nonsense. This is political theater. You all are just doing this because you want to delegitimize the Supreme Court and what they did for Roe versus Wade. And I'm like, well, to me, it's just fucking slow. You should have been doing this shit. We wouldn't have had the Roe versus Wade reversal as damaging, as impactful, had you did preemptive strikes like this, Biden. I don't want your administration to reflect how we feel you are, which is a little bit slow. You know, I voted for you, but I feel like your responses to a lot of things have been slow and delayed. That's all I'm saying. We talked about child support at contraception and how this will be very interesting to employ, because you have many times there's cases where there's child support where the children are born and they're not, you know, they're not receiving any support from that. So we're here now at the point of contraception. So it'll be interesting to see how they enforce this. So far, it's just a bill. Of course, is being sponsored by Republicans and from North Dakota and Florida, of course. And then we talked about these clear backpacks that these schools want to start enacting in Texas and how they say it's a deterrent for mass shootings. But if we talking about the Uvalde shooting, that was an intruder coming from outside the school with a machine gun. And I don't think machine guns can fit inside of the clear plastic backpacks that you want them to run. So yeah, we'll see how effective this will be. Now they say most schools give this shit up in 2 years because it's not enforceable and it's difficult to keep up with because it's costly. You can't keep supplying students with clear backpacks every fucking year. It's costly. You don't know your enrollment count. Damn, things could happen. What if they break it? They can't buy another one. What, you gonna give them a free one? How often can you afford to give out free additional backpacks? Like, there's a whole economics behind that. We talked about Emmett Till's lynching and how the attorney general says that they're not moving forward with any more. They're not going to open this case back up with using any new evidence. And really, that's come out of the fact that her new memoir, some of the details have been leaked to the media. And it sounds like she's trying to play the victim, that she didn't know what she was doing, that the men made her say that and that, blah, 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 all that shit. Girl, honey, I'll lock your ass to the bed today, handcuffed to the bed, bedridden for the rest of your life. I want you to have bed sores. That's how I feel. I really do feel that way, slowly too. So we'll see how this plays out. Now, the memoir is not to be released until 2036, but we all know why that's not until 2036. Of course, I said they want to wait till this lady passes away. And if she's still alive in 2036, watch they extend that date to 2046, another 10 years out. So because the backlash that will come from such a memoir will be huge. So I'll stay tuned to that. We talked about Sesame Street and the viral video that went crazy. I played the clip earlier. Now this went very viral because two young Black girls were standing in front of, alongside the parade route, and the character dressed up walked right past them. I first thought it was nothing there until I started reading more details about this story. And Sesame Street, in their response to the mother, basically came out and admitted fault to the lines of failing to be inclusive. I'm sitting here thinking, like, is that what it was? I thought it was failure to be a great performer, but okay, you even made me look at that like, yeah, you bitches are being a little racist out there in Pennsylvania. So we'll see what comes from this. Now, they offered her to come to get a free meet and greet and come back. That's not enough. She still wants a public apology. Y'all hear it? That's what she wants. If she ain't me. We talked about this Family Dollar arrest. Man, this was horrible. So the man arrested because two women didn't thank him after he opened the door for them. He pulled out a gun on them. And so the police was called. He was shortly arrested later down the street. Now he is a 25-year-old man. So now you've wasted the rest of your life. He's sitting in jail until his trial day. I think it's his court date, August 2nd, on a $25,000 bond. Like, really? I mean, yeah, like you all said, you should say thank you, but I mean, you gonna pull a gun out on me if I don't? What the fuck you gonna do if I don't say hi back to you? I'm there now. What's up? Hey, bitch, I said what's up. Okay. Hey, how you doing? Every time I see you, I be speaking before you. Hey, what up? What's up? I said it. I said, hey, fuck that shit. Like, what's going on? The woman who awakened from her 2-year coma identified her brother as her attacker. And that was a crazy story. Get into that. If you hit the replay, and shout out to the replay gang. Shout out to y'all. Texas family dines then robs, and it's so crazy. I mean, a little long in the tooth, and they still out here dining and robbing. I mean, y'all, give me a fucking break. So they have been apprehended, and more details are to come from this story. I guarantee it. The Fulton County DA issues a statement saying that more RICO charges are to come in 60 days. So I'll be here to report. You better not bother 4PF or Lil Baby. Lil Baby, I'll be hitting you up. Trans woman has been transferred out of a women's facility in New Jersey after impregnating 2 prisoners. And I played you 2 clips. I played you her when she was in the Edna facility and segregated from the other population along with 5 other transgender women. And then I played you the clip of her at the new facility with the men. And as we saw on the clip, you know, you can see the other guys out in the community. They're all like out amongst each other. And so she has a Twitter page. I shared it in the chat that she's now been offering, you know, some insight into what she's been going on. She played some video clips, and she also has a site set up, freedemi.org. And so if you want to check it out and offer your support, I sincerely wish you to do so. I want to stay more tuned to the story. I want to see if she really is going to push forward with her transgender rights, in the fact that if there's other folks at facilities that are afforded transgender rights by being segregated with their population, then why am I not included? And I think that why is where I've been left at. Like, why did they say this? Now, she goes on to say that her attorney lied to the court and said that she is no longer identifying as transgender and feels comfortable being transferred. But on her Twitter account, she's saying that's a lie. They're setting her up. So you got to go check it out. It's a whole big mess, but we'll get into that as more stuff come out. We talked about the rape victim who now she was raped by this man when she was 16 and had a young girl. And then the young girl, the father found out that she had a young girl and applied for custody, was granted full custody. And also the rape victim was also issued to pay child support. Now the child support was reversed, but she's now issuing new testimony saying that her daughter, when she was 16, was raped by this man as well. He drugged her and then sexually assaulted her 2 days back to back. Very interesting. It's something there. We got to keep our thumb on it, because this shit right here just does not sound right to me. Like, wait a minute, hold up, slow up. There's so many hoes. Your daughter was 16 when this happened. Why didn't she come tell you this at 18, 19? I'm curious. So then we talked about this story where the woman sues the man for $10,000 after a bad date and goes off on the judge during the hearing. Now, this shit was crazy as hell. He must have that head on that penis must be thick and hard, because I don't know, it was knocking. She in court over $10,000, a date for $10,000. Now, given the facts is she had just lost her mother and she was looking forward to this date. And it happened 2 years ago. So she managed to stick this all the way through to get up to the court, to the judge, through arbitration, through all kind of depositions and testimonies, going back and forth with attorneys. Really? And the man literally sat in the clip that I played like, sir, I don't know why I'm here. So they got it interesting. He dismissed it and told her that she has to pay all the charges. We also talked about the bodega owner who fatally stabbed the customer. All the charges have been dropped, and I'm all good for that. I just wanted to make sure that this should not ever be an example of, or should not ever be sort of the thing that we resort to when we say that it's a justifiable reason why we use excessive force. Store owners, I don't want to hear that shit, because this is not the fucking same. Again, this was a situation. It was an actual situation involving a woman, a child, a bag of chips, a declined EBT card, a hostile woman going to get her man. He come in there trying to be bravado. That's a story. That's not a black man in the store and you think he's about to steal something, so you shoot him. I don't want to hear that shit, because they're not the same. I'm telling you fucking now. And then we talked about this man who stabbed his mother to death and beat her with a hammer in the basement. He lured his mother there under the auspices that he had mail for, she had mail over there for him. And so he has been arrested. And now there were plenty of signs here. You got to check that story out. And then we ended on Robert Adams, the 23-year-old man who was shot while running away from the San Bernadino police. And that was definitely a disheartening story for me, simply because the man was running from an unmarked car where police officers stepped out, didn't say shit. Stop. You, hey, nothing, because they've been surveilling this illegal gambling facility. Well, what the fuck that got to do with me? Go surveil that. Where in your order does it say my name? Why the fuck am I the target of your bullet? So we got into that story. Rest in peace to Robert Adams, and I definitely send my prayers and condolences to his family. And shout out to the news crew for being here. I appreciate you all. Shout out. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, comment below, all that good stuff. Yes, I did vote yesterday. I did. Was it yesterday or Tuesday? What's today? Oh. Yes. I'm sitting here thinking like today, Thursday, cause and effect, then pretend to fix the problem. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. They need to be recorded and live in the community. They training lacks. They training lacks training. Okay, I heard that. Wow. So girls' pads will show. That's what parents were saying. You got my child's prescription showing all kind of shit that might provoke an attack or something. You'd never know. Right. Child, trouble woman. Nazi still getting picked up at night. If you leave it up to me, child, I will have her shackled down to a bed somewhere in a museum. I was about to see you. Have a beautiful day. Amen. Have a great, you too, Brittany. You Brit girl, you have a good day too. Have a great day. Take the puppy for a walk in Drew Hill Park. Drew Hill. That's how they got their name, right? What you voting for? What I'm voting for? We had the local elections involved in the area. See you later. Thank you all. Yes, I appreciate it. I'll be back Friday and we'll got some more stuff to talk about. So thank you all. Shout out to you all. Please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll see y'all in the streets. And if there's any news, local stories, or anything y'all have, any tips, you can DM me on IG. Or you can DM me on Twitter, King Roman News, at King Roman News. And I get Twitter like a lot quicker. Like I'll be on Twitter all day, just going back and forth with folks. So Twitter is cool. Or you can DM me on IG. It's on my iPad. And when I pull up my iPad, I'll go through all my things. But yeah, feel free to send me stories. I love to look at stuff that's happening across the world. Shout out to everyone who sent me stories today. Sticks Girl, thank you for the Sesame Street story. I really do appreciate it. Because I was also, I'm sitting looking like, well, what the hell is the problem here? And then you sent me another clip that was funny too. I'm gonna incorporate that into Hot Topics on Friday. So, all right, y'all have a great day, a beautiful day. Thank you, Miss Toby. I appreciate your support. Y'all have a good day. And deuces. Good morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
Let's go. Oh, let's start this show. King Roman News gonna come right through. Gonna give you that news just like you know he can do. Hot topics in your face, baby. King Roman knows his place, baby. King Roman News.
Good morning.
6:30 a.m. Eastern time, baby. He's gonna come right on time with the news just for you. Celebrity news, politics, and local news just for you. King Roman News. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. let's go, let's go. Hey, let's start this show. King Roman News, coming just for you. King Roman News, coming just for you. 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. King Roman News, King Roman News. Let's go, let's go. Let's start this show.